Olá, pessoal. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos a mais um ensinamento público não oficial com o nosso querido amigo Jalal e muitos outros buscadores de conhecimento. Hello, everybody, for one more public teaching with Jalal. This is a non-official meeting, and this is public. We are here with Jalal to learn about the technology and the plasma science. Hello, Jalal. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Yes, hello Daniel. Hello everyone. Good day and good evening. Wherever you listen to this public, in a way, teachings. So we always start with if there is any question regarding the understanding and the teaching of the plasma. But before that, we have a guest here with us. I invited him especially to this group because we are all over here from all over the world, and a lot of us need some part of the explanation and practical work and theoretical understanding of the plasma, and he is the best one to cover all of these aspects because he's involved in this science of the plasma since a long time. I would like really to welcome Bernie with us here. And before I give him the mic and I give you the chance to ask any question you have, there is one thing really I would like to open an eye in it. And this is what we have from the plasma. We always consider that the plasma is a gravitational.
Okay, Jalal, I need to translate. Give me 1 second, please.
Yes.
Ok, o Jalal está dizendo que hoje temos um convidado muito especial, que está muito envolvido com a tecnologia, seja na teoria quanto na prática. Ele entende muito, ele é muito especial, ele está aqui hoje para a gente poder perguntar a ele. Então, o Jalal começou dizendo e desenhando, dizendo que o plasma sempre começa com o gravitacional. Ok, Jalal, the plasma always starts with the gravitational and then?
Gravitational and magnetical, both.
Na verdade, com ambos, com o magnético e com o gravitacional.
And when we came out from the matter state to the nano.
Então a gente sai do estado material, a gente saiu e foi para o nano.
To the ganses.
Então para os GANs.
As individual plasma, what we see in reality, we see only this aspect of the plasma.
E como plasmas individuais, na realidade a gente vê apenas esse aspecto do plasma.
To this point.
Que começa daqui e vai até esse ponto.
We see it as a color due to the interaction of this plasma in its environment.
Nós vemos a cor dele por causa da interação desse plasma com esse ambiente específico.
Whatever it is inside, it's not yet open up.
O que quer que tenha dentro ainda não se abriu.
And it is now for us really to drop out the matter state, the nano state, the GANS state, and work with the field of the plasma.
Então só depende de nós agora abandonarmos o estado material, o estado nano e o estado GANS e começar a trabalhar com os campos do plasma.
If we see this plasma as a CO2,
Se a gente
the
vê
white
esse
color.
plasma, se a gente vê esse plasma como CO2, que ele é branco, né, esbranquiçado,
It's no different from any other plasma.
ele não tem nenhuma diferença com nenhum outro plasma.
And we will see if we change the environment to this plasma,
E a gente
the
percebe
color,
que se a gente...
the
Ok,
color
continue.
of this plasma will change to a different color.
Se a gente mudar o ambiente ao redor desse plasma, a cor desse plasma também vai mudar para uma cor diferente.
Due to its original strength, which is started with.
Por causa da sua força original com a qual ele começou.
So as this plasma will change from one position to another position,
E conforme a gente mudou a força desse plasma de uma posição para outra,
and we do not really yet expand in the inner sanctum of the strength of the plasma,
e a gente ainda não expandiu na força interna desse plasma. Jalal,
is-
what do you mean by inner sanctum? I don't know really this word.
what we see
The-
from let's say the CO2, what color you see?
Bom, eu perguntei o que ele quis dizer com inner sanctum, que eu não conheço muito essa palavra. Aí ele perguntou, quando você vê o CO2, que cor você vê?
What color you see?
White.
White. This white, what you see, it's only from this point to this point, only.
Aí eu disse branco. Aí ele falou, esse branco que você vê é apenas desse ponto até esse outro ponto.
This is what the magnetical field of this plasma due to the environment it is in, it shows itself.
Isso é com o qual o campo magnético desse plasma interagindo com o ambiente no qual ele está faz ele aparentar dessa forma.
But if there is a magnetical field and there is a gravitational field, which field you are working with?
Okay, I need 1 second to change my connection, Jalal, really quick. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, can you repeat your question, please?
I am saying if we have the gravitational and the magnetical field, which field we are dealing with, and how
Então,
I notice if this is the magnetical one or the gravitational one.
Então, se nós temos o campo magnético e o gravitacional, com qual deles que nós estamos lidando? E como que eu sei se eu estou mexendo ou trabalhando com o campo gravitacional ou com o magnético?
There is a lot of things you can measure, but one of them, it is the color.
Tem muitas coisas que você pode medir, mas uma delas é a cor.
If you have two plasmas from the same kind, due to the darkness and the lightness of this color, in respect to this plasma, you can consider it a magnetical or a gravitational. In the magra positioning, you are putting it.
O Jalal disse que se você tem dois plasmas iguais, um é mais escuro, outro é mais claro, você pode dizer qual é.
But because we are not entering the real work of the plasma yet,
Because what?
because we are not yet entering or entered the real work of the plasma until now.
Mas porque levando em conta que até agora a gente ainda não entrou realmente no verdadeiro trabalho do plasma.
So we need to open our thinking that whatever we have until now, it is only the shell of this plasma.
Então nós temos que abrir nossa mente para entender que o que quer que nós tenhamos alcançado até agora é apenas a casca, a concha ao redor desse plasma.
So that means it is only the surface of the strength of the plasma we are dealing with.
Isso significa que é apenas a força da superfície desse plasma.
And also there is no difference between this plasma and this plasma.
E também não há diferença entre esse plasma e esse outro plasma.
And where we are heading with this technology and what Mr. Keshe opened up for the humanity.
E a direção que estamos indo com a abertura dessa tecnologia e o ensinamento dela para a humanidade.
As this is only the shell of this circle, what we have, it's the same thing, the inner, it's yet to be opened.
E como essa é apenas a casca, a superfície externa desse plasma que nós estamos lidando, o inner sanctum que ele falou é o santuário interno, né? A parte interna desse plasma ainda está para ser aberta, ainda está para ser ensinada para a gente.
So exactly what's happened with the man.
Isso é exatamente o que está acontecendo com o homem.
It is the magnetical field of the man which is interact with this environment he is in, exactly similar to this plasma.
É o campo magnético do homem que está interagindo com esse ambiente. É exatamente o que acontece com um plasma.
Okay. Now I will give, if there is no question, and I hope there is a questions because someone here will gonna answer it. Please, guys, welcome Bernie here.
Então,
Bernie.
pessoal, o Jalal disse que se tivermos pergunta, então agora ele vai apresentar essa pessoa muito especial que ele convidou, que é muito experiente, chamada Vernie. Do you want me to try to open the mic?
I don't know if he.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, but
Hello, everyone. Okay, good. Thank you for inviting me in this group. This is a very big group. And I'm happy to
por
see.
me convidarem para esse grupo, ele é muito grande.
I'm really happy to see a lot of people in this group. It's
no,
good to see.
we are very few now. Before we have more than 40
Wow.
here and 20 in the Spanish group, 20 in the German group,
sometimes
Italian,
on
sometimes.
the French group, the Romanian. Ok, ele está muito feliz, pessoal, de ver um grupo tão grande. Jalal disse que hoje nem está tão grande que. And we have more people on YouTube also in Brazil.
So, guys, I will give you a tip. Whatever question you have, bring it in. Even in the quick cooking. This man is expert in everything.
Ok. Jalal disse assim, eu vou dar uma dica para vocês. Qualquer pergunta que vocês tenham, façam para ele. Até mesmo sobre culinária. Esse homem é um expert em tudo.
But please, if you have a question related to what you are doing or your work, and we will be very happy to answer it and adding to it.
Então, se você tem uma pergunta relacionada às suas experiências, seu trabalho aí com plasma, ficaremos muito felizes em ajudar a você. Ok, guys, feel free to open your mic. Pessoal, sintam-se livre para abrir o seu microfone, para fazer a pergunta, não precisa levantar a mão. Pessoal do YouTube aí pode mandar no bate-papo do YouTube, contar com a ajuda do Cristiano para ver lá no YouTube que eu estou dirigindo.
Hello,
Hello.
can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Ok. ¿Cómo alcanzamos el carbono 14? ¿Cómo lo hacemos? ¿Cómo lo alcanzamos?
Como consumir?
¿Cómo hacerlo? ¿Cómo lograrlo?
How to make it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a make. Yeah, thank
Então,
you so much.
Thank you. A primeira pergunta é como fazer o carbono 14. So the first question is how can we make the carbon 14?
Carbon 14.
Yeah, very easy question.
Elizabeth. Okay. Bernie, do you like to answer the question? This is a very difficult question and a lot trying to answer.
Kindly answer it, Jalal. Carbon 14.
Oh, Jalal, you say more difficult questions.
But it's very easy question.
No. You say, please take a very difficult question. Thank you.
Is this, I can help you with what you've been doing right now if you have some confusion or something to clear up. I deal with plasma science the easy way, so I don't see it very difficult, or I don't go in a direction that is difficult.
Bom, ele disse que ele vê a ciência do plasma de uma maneira muito simples, que ele não vê como algo complicado, que ele pode nos ajudar com qualquer coisa que estejamos fazendo, qualquer experimento.
Usually, when we make things, when we create devices, we have our objective. What is it that we want to do? What is it that...
Yeah, thank you. E, geralmente, quando a gente faz dispositivos, equipamentos, a gente tem sempre, primeiramente, em nossas mentes, qual que é o objetivo que nós queremos alcançar com isso?
To be honest, I did not make use of the term carbon 14. When I speak or when we talk about carbon, I simply deal it as a carbon.
Para ser sincero, eu nunca trabalhei com esse termo carbono 14. Sempre quando eu lido com carbono, eu lido apenas como sendo carbono.
I believe in other teachings, especially for Mr. Keshe, he can deal with the details of the different carbons. Other teachers can also do so. But for me, when we talk about carbon, it is carbon I am referring, because my body can know what to do with this carbon if the application is me involved in it.
E ele disse que sempre quando ele trabalha com carbono, ele sabe o que fazer com esse carbono, porque o seu corpo, ele está envolvido nessa aplicação. Ele sempre trabalha carbono como sendo carbono. O Sr. Keshe que pode aprofundar mais sobre o carbono 14 e outros professores.
Okay. I would like to ask, what is your application for this carbon 14, and where did you hear it, how it is being used, and what's the purpose of having this? I know there are several forms, but for this particular question, what is how to make this carbon 14? The question should be, what is our objective? Why we make this carbon 14? What have we learned so far?
A pergunta dele é: para que você quer usar esse carbono 14? Qual o seu objetivo?
Bernie, give me 1 second, Bernie, please. Disable. You know, let's take the star formation.
Então vamos falar, o Jalal disse, vamos começar falando sobre a formação estelar.
We have 1 hydrogen.
Nós temos um hidrogênio.
We have 14 nitrogen.
Nós temos o 14, que é o nitrogênio.
We have 12 carbon.
Temos o carbono, que é 12.
We have 16
Temos o
Oxygen.
16, oxigênio.
In real, this is 8 neutrons, this is 6, this is 7, and
Na
this is-
realidade, esse tem 8 nêutrons, esse 6, esse 7 e aquele 1.
we have this group as amino acid.
Nós temos esse grupo como um aminoácido.
In a plasma, how I can benefit only from this one without the other 3?
No plasma, como que eu posso me beneficiar desse aqui sem os outros 3?
Or how I will be benefit from this 2 without this 2?
Ou como eu posso me beneficiar desses 2 sem os outros 2? Okay, I will close my mic for a few seconds. Okay, I need like a few seconds to take my boy here.
Okay. I will bring a very small example.
Ok, I'm ready. O Jalal disse que ele vai dar um pequeno exemplo muito rápido aqui.
I will bring you a very small example that we always and every second we are interfering with, but we do not notice it.
Vou dar um exemplo aqui muito rápido que a gente está sempre lidando com ele, mas não percebe.
Look what happened. I am I am chasing you, Daniel.
Somebody make a call to me and I mess up. Can you start again? Sorry.
No problem, no problem. If we have always hydrogen, nitrogen,
Nós temos
carbon, and oxygen all the time, every time,
Se nós temos sempre o hidrogênio, o oxigênio, carbono e nitrogênio o tempo todo.
so why there is a change in the oxygen level in the daytime?
Então por que tem uma mudança no nível de oxigênio, uma diferença do nível de oxigênio durante o período do dia e o período da noite?
Do really the plants take the carbon and give us oxygen?
Será que as plantas realmente pegam o carbono e nos dão o oxigênio?
Mr. Keshe already explained this process.
O Sr. Keshe já explicou esse processo.
It is what this plan holding in the process of its working.
É o que a planta está mantendo com ela, está segurando no processo desse trabalho dela.
It is the difference between the daytime and the nighttime for the plants when they are active and when they are not 100% active.
E essa é a diferença entre o período do dia e da noite. Quando a planta está ativa e quando ela está não 100% ativa.
The plants do not use the oxygen.
As plantas não usam oxigênio.
They hold to the carbon.
Elas seguram o carbono.
They hold to the nitrogen they needed and to the hydrogen.
Com o nitrogênio também que elas precisam e também com o hidrogênio.
So because they do not hold to the oxygen, now in this environment you see more oxygens for you to breathe. So you
Então,
feel that is more.
Como ela não segura o oxigênio, então você percebe que agora no ambiente tem mais oxigênio para você respirar, por isso que você acha que tem mais.
In the night time, they will hold for 50% of this,
Durante a noite,
50% of this, and 50% of this. What will happen?
durante a noite a planta vai ficar com apenas 50% desse e desse. E o que vai acontecer?
So you will have extra here 50% carbon, 50% nitrogen, 50% hydrogen. That's why you feel that there is less oxygen in the environment.
Então, nesse momento, você tem 50% a mais de carbono, 50% a mais de nitrogênio, 50% a mais de hidrogênio. Por isso que você tem uma sensação de que tem menos oxigênio no ambiente.
So do you understand really what happened? There is no releasing of oxygen.
Então, você está entendendo o que acontece? Não tem nenhuma liberação de oxigênio.
It is one plasma, which is inside it. You have the star formation of the amino acid, and the plants hold this one and this one and this one, and they do not use that one. So it's more for you to interact with, to use. That's all.
Então, tem a formação estelar, a planta, formação estelar do aminoácido, ela interage com esses três e ela não interage com aquele outro, por isso que você tem sensação de que tem mais daquele outro. Isso é tudo.
So now we go to your question. Carbon
Agora vamos
14.
na sua pergunta.
Carbon 14 do not exist as carbon 14. It's a behavior.
O carbono 14 não existe como tal, é apenas um comportamento.
So if I want to have a behavior of carbon 14, what I need? 6 and 8.
Então, se eu quero ter um comportamento de carbono 14, eu preciso do 6 e do 8.
What is the rest from this star formation? The nitrogen and the hydrogen. I lock them. I lock them with some device.
Então, o que resta nessa formação estelar? Restou o nitrogênio e o hidrogênio. Então, eu preciso de travar eles com algum dispositivo.
So what is there to interact with these two plasmas?
Então, o que tem para você, o que sobra para você interagir? Esses dois plasmas, o 8 e o 6.
And this is what give me the behavior of carbon 14.
E é isso que me dá o comportamento do carbono 14.
What you have? COO.
O que você tem? Você tem o
Six.
COO.
8.
6, 8, 8.
Lock one of it, or change the behavior of this oxygen to hydrogen.
Então, você trava um deles ou apenas mude o comportamento de um deles para hidrogênio.
We give you how you make it, and this is CH4.
Nós já te ensinamos como fazer isso. E aí estamos falando sobre o CH4.
You will have the behavior of 14.
E aí você tem um comportamento de 14.
But did anyone done it?
Mas será que alguém fez isso?
Was it very difficult to do?
Será que é tão difícil assim de fazer?
It's the same when you made the CH3. It's the same behavior you make CH4.
A mesma coisa quando você faz CH3, você faz o CH4.
So you are not shortage of what you want.
Então você não está com falta do que você quer.
In the beginning, I said it is only one level of the plasma. It is one circle. What is inside, it is more than you think. It is only you change the environment.
No início eu te falei, isso é apenas uma camada desse plasma. Por dentro tem muito mais. Você precisa apenas de mudar o ambiente.
Why? You are here. You cannot do anything. You go to another place. You travel the universe.
Por que você está aqui e você não consegue fazer nada? Mas você vai para outro lugar, para outro ambiente, e daí você pode viajar ao universo.
Is there any difference in this plasma?
Será que tem alguma diferença nesse plasma?
Today or tomorrow?
Hoje ou amanhã?
Why? Well, you are sitting with me, you cannot do anything, and when you go to another place, you can do everything.
Por que você está sentado aqui comigo e não consegue fazer nada, e você vai para outro lugar e consegue fazer qualquer coisa?
This another place, maybe you are going to sleep.
E talvez esse outro lugar que eu estou me referindo é quando você vai dormir.
So just open the mind for what you have.
Então apenas abra a mente para o que você já tem.
Okay, Bunny.
Jalal.
Yes.
Okay.
Jalal, el carbon 14 es un comportamiento del carbono. Más o menos es como cuando modificamos una copa y le agregamos otro elemento que tiene, por ejemplo, CO2 con la fuerza del hierro o CO2 con mayor fuerza de oro, etcétera, etcétera. Like this. ¿Tú me entendiste, Daniel?
Sim, sim. Então, so carbon 14 is just a behavior. It's like when we have a cup or a box and we change and we add iron or gold, and then we have a different thing, different behavior.
Inside your body, you have this, what you call emotions.
Dentro do seu corpo você tem emoções.
Every one of them, it have a strength.
Cada uma delas tem uma força.
So this one with this one will give you this one. This one and that one, it will give you this one.
Essa com essa vai te dar essa outra. Essa outra com essa outra vai te dar aquela outra.
You do not relate the emotion inside you. What is exactly you are doing in the CO2 box or CH3 box?
Você não consegue relacionar as emoções que estão dentro de você com o que você está fazendo na sua caixa ou no seu copo de CO2 ou de CH3?
But the problem with the knowledge seekers, they didn't went out and expand more in the knowledge of the fields of the plasma. That's all.
O problema dos buscadores é que eles não expandem mais conhecimento sobre os campos do plasma.
Every one of us, whatever he's doing in this box, he's doing more than what he thinks, but he need to just look.
Jalal,
Yes.
when I work with when I do things, when I work with elements or anything that I do, if I have to make something or a project or an object or a plasma device, at first I always have a purpose.
Ele diz que sempre quando ele trabalha com dispositivos, ele sempre tem um propósito para isso.
And before that, before you create something, usually, especially we use the technology to provide something or what, meaning there is a need, then you create something with the purpose to answer that need. That's the usual case. Now,
Então, geralmente, quando você tem uma necessidade, você cria aquele dispositivo para suprir aquela necessidade.
now to answer to that question, first we have to answer what is it that you need carbon 14? How are you going to use it? Why?
Então, para respondermos sua pergunta, temos que primeiro entender por que você quer o carbono 14, para que você vai usar ele, como.
Let me tell you why they want carbon 14. They want carbon 14 to connect to the higher source.
Jalal disse, eles querem carbono 14 para se conectar à fonte mais elevada.
Because they understand that carbon 14 is a connection line with a higher source of the universe.
Porque eles entendem que o carbono 14 é a conexão com a fonte mais alta do universo.
The way I see it, it is a transition phase. It is, like Jalal said, it's a behavior. We're still working in the carbon, but it is a transition point. Could this be... Yeah, go ahead.
A maneira como eu vejo, de acordo com o que ele disse, é o seguinte. A maneira como eu vejo é que o carbono 14 é uma transição, é apenas um comportamento.
Could this be the reason that it is described as a link? You know why I ask a question? What is the purpose? What is it that you want to do? Because it's not the only way to do it. In plasma science, it's not.
Por isso que eu perguntei o que você quer fazer com isso, porque não é a única maneira de se fazer isso.
In plasma science, we can do a lot of things. Similar to in our daily routine, our daily household course, we can do a lot of things. We can reach an objective in different ways. Just because we are told this is how you do it to reach this level, that doesn't mean it's the only way.
Então, não é só porque a gente alcançou um determinado nível que essa é a única maneira de fazer isso.
The fact that human beings, by design, can access multiple level of existence, or some others say we are a multi-dimensional being.
Bom, ele diz que nós somos seres multidimensionais.
It means we will not have any difficulty going to any level at all. Contacting, going to the source, it's really not a problem. And with carbon 14 or not, it can be done.
Bom, ele disse que nós podemos diretamente acessar a fonte, que o carbono 14 é apenas uma maneira de se fazer isso.
If you have a difficulty because you don't have carbon 14, or you have a difficulty of having it, do it in another way.
Então, se você tem dificuldade para obter o carbono 14, ou você não tem ele disponível, você faça isso de outra maneira.
We haven't reached to the point where we simply decide, we simply manage energy, or we go to a certain level by simply consciously by thoughts. We go from here to there. We're not yet used to that, but unconsciously, or we've been doing that a lot of times, but we did not think of it. It's in our nature. It's the same thing when doing things in that level. You want to link with the source, it can be done. You see, when you use carbon-14 or you think of the material requirement.
Bom, ele disse que a gente pode com o pensamento se conectar. A gente faz isso sem perceber. Okay, can you start again the last sentence?
When
yeah,
you
give him a little bit time, Bernie, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sometimes,
go ahead.
yeah, sometimes, or not sometimes, but it is a common thing for us to when we want to. It is said that you require this to link to, but you have the difficulty of making this, or you do not understand this. You know what? Like I said, there is another way of doing it without focusing more on the carbon-14, but instead focusing more on your final objective.
Então, tem outra maneira de você fazer isso. Você pode se focar menos no carbono 14 e mais no objetivo final de você fazer isso que você quer fazer.
The reason we are always delayed, we are always far behind of where we should be, is because, let's say, this is your you have your objective, which is to link to a certain level, and then it is said to have, let's say, this is your objective and you are here, and it is said it requires this to go this, you have to have this. Then now you have a difficulty of having this. What you did not know is you can simply go there.
Então, se você tem dificuldade, se te dizem que você tem que conseguir isso para depois chegar naquele outro, e você tem dificuldade para conseguir isso aqui, então, na verdade, o que não te falaram é que você pode ir lá direto, você não precisa ir para esse aqui primeiro.
Because this.
I'm sorry, Bernie.
Yeah. Let me finish this.
Your point. Yo entiendo tu punto, pero nosotros no podemos enseñar lo que no entendemos. Entonces, mi punto es, quiero aprender sobre carbono 14, porque también mi objetivo es enseñar. Sé que trabajo a través de mi alma, hago prácticas para llegar al nivel superior, para elevar mi alma y la de otros seres, pero no puedo explicarle, enseñar si no lo entiendo. Por eso quiero aprender sobre carbono 14. Thank you so much.
She said that she wants to learn about carbon 14 because she wants to teach, and it's not there's something specific that she wants to do with it.
Okay, I understand. It's understandable that we always work, let's say, with the materials, but there's one thing we forget. You see, this is a being, we are a being, and we, by default, by design, our being human, our by design, we have access to all levels. Yes, it can be.
Ele está dizendo que nós sempre tentamos ir através dos materiais, mas como seres humanos, nós somos desenhados para acessar, somos feitos de maneira que podemos acessar vários níveis.
Yes, let's agree that we can agree that yes, in some way, this is a requirement to go to this, but you can also do this from here to this simply because it is in our own capability that we can access any level. We are used to, yeah.
Ele está dizendo que às vezes a gente pensa que é um requisito a gente ir para esse ponto A para depois ir para o B, mas na verdade nós somos capazes de ir direto ao ponto final, não precisamos desse pré-requisito.
Similar to how we interact with plants, animals, and other human beings, energy transfer or giving and taking of energy is done automatically. We did not require. Yeah.
Ele disse que da mesma maneira como a gente interage com outras plantas e animais, a transferência de energia ela é feita automaticamente.
Because we are all working in the same playing field. With the matter, it's a different playing field when you use matter. Different playing field when you use nano, the GANs and the fields, and you see each have different playing fields. If you it's described as that way. Similar to yes, continue, please.
Ele está dizendo que são coisas diferentes quando você trabalha com a matéria, com o nano e com o plasma.
What I'm trying to establish is you have to see the different levels. Like if this is land, this is water, this is the atmosphere, and this is the space. You have different entities in every level, and they can only survive. Let's say all in the water creatures, they can only stay there. That's their comfort zone. The land, they can only
Ele está dizendo que existem vários níveis. Tem a água, tem a atmosfera, tem o ar. Todos esses níveis têm seres. Os seres da água, por exemplo, eles estão na sua zona de conforto. Eles apenas podem viver lá. Ok.
Here also have similar, but different creatures, but similar concept. Like we can breathe air in this area, but we cannot breathe underwater. Same here and here.
Uhum. E os outros seres também, os seres que estão no ar, voando, eles podem respirar o ar, mas eles não podem respirar embaixo da água, e em cada nível, respectivamente.
So we have to understand that there is this several levels. The good thing is we as human beings have access to all.
E tem diferentes níveis, mas a coisa boa dessa história é que nós, seres humanos, temos acesso a todos eles.
But we also have the option to use materials to aid or to help us in going from this to this, or even to a much higher or to a much higher. We may need some reinforcement somewhere in the middle to help us. But that doesn't mean we cannot go directly there without taking this, because each is already capable of going through all the levels.
Ele disse que nós somos capazes de ir para todos os níveis, mas por mais que talvez precisamos de um ajuste aqui, uma ajuda ali, algum equipamento aqui, não significa que nós tenhamos que ir por esse caminho. Que nós, por sermos seres humanos, multidimensionais, somos capazes de ir a todos os níveis sem precisar de nada.
And if you ask me how I do things, I usually do things the easy way. I usually stay out of any difficulty that I can easily transfer the knowledge from person to another person, from myself to this person, from this person to when he transfers the technology to the next, it will be also not difficult. So I stay away from hurdles along the way, but I keep a consistency of understanding and respecting all the different levels or segregations by design.
Bom, ele disse que ele Sorry, I didn't really
Okay.
get what you said. Can you
The last, it
summarize?
is by design. We have this level for the water creatures. We have this land. We have this atmosphere.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Verna. I have a very, very bad memory. If you can say sentence by sentence, I will do a very precise job.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
It's
I'm
my
sorry.
first time
my
having
fault.
this.
Yeah, because I have a very bad memory.
I know it's not about memory. You're actually, the idea of doing this is it has to be presented in a complete thought, then you translate. I get that, but I usually cut it off. I was focusing on the length, not on the thought. Anyway, let's do this efficiently. Okay. Because we have the understanding of the different states of matter, the different levels of existence, and because we have the understanding of man can traverse all through several levels of existence or several dimensions, then we all have the option to do it the hard way or we do it the easy way.
Ele está dizendo que como nós temos a capacidade de acessar todos os níveis da existência, nós podemos fazer isso da maneira mais fraca, mais fácil ou da maneira mais difícil.
That's why when I myself also have a difficulty of using a certain requirement presented to us. I don't have access to it, or I don't have the time to produce it. I'll find a way around it and still reach the same objective by using another method, but not violating the whole process.
Bom, o que ele disse é que quando ele tem dificuldade para conseguir alguma coisa, ele vai por outro caminho. Ele não vai parar o processo, ele vai buscar uma outra saída.
But if the objective is for one to take advantage of, let's say, carbon-14 to reach to the next objective, then we can take our focus on that. Then the final objective will become the secondary objective. But if your primary objective is to reach to that level, which is the source, I tell you, carbon-14 is insignificant because I'll let you focus more on reaching to that without carbon-14. Why?
Yeah, I understand now what you mean. O que ele está dizendo é o seguinte, você tem que saber qual é o seu objetivo principal. O seu objetivo principal é alcançar a fonte de energia, você pode fazer isso direto, o carbono 14 vai ser irrelevante. Mas se você fizer o carbono 14 como seu objetivo principal, o fato de você querer acessar a energia universal vai ser secundário, então vai te atrapalhar, entendeu? Ok, go on, please.
Yeah, I work in this method every time. That's why I can simplify things from being concepted as complicated at first, but later on simplified it and still reach the same objective.
Ele disse assim, eu trabalho dessa maneira, por isso que eu consigo simplificar tudo. As coisas que parecem complicadas, eu acabo simplificando.
But I do not discourage everyone from going through the details, even it will take them time to reach to a much higher level of understanding, simply because if these tiny details will serve them along the way, or they can make use of these tiny details along the way in the future, then it's okay to go through all this, even if it takes a lot of time.
O que ele disse mas eu não te desencorajo a fazer pelo caminho mais comprido, porque talvez no futuro esses detalhes que você vai aprender nesse caminho mais comprido, talvez vá te servir no futuro. Né?
So if you ask me how to get to the source, I can tell you directly, just go there. Put it in your thought, the source, then speak. What is it that you want?
Pois o seu objetivo é chegar à fonte, você pode fazer isso sozinho, você pode pedir para sua alma.
It is as simple as that when doing things in the plasma level.
E é simples assim fazer as coisas no nível do plasma.
But if you want to learn more how to use this carbon-14, then our focus will be carbon-14.
Então, se
Then,
você quer aprender mais, se você está mais focado em como fazer o carbono 14, então seu foco vai ser em como fazer o carbono 14, e não o outro foco.
Then after that, we can see different uses of it.
E aí, depois disso, você pode ver que vai ter diferentes usos para esse carbono 14.
Similar to the first time we learned of the CO2 gas.
Foi a mesma coisa quando nós aprendemos pela primeira vez a fazer o GANs de CO2.
The liquid plasma, the nano and everything, it's similar to we know them individually, we focus on them individually. Then later we go to the application, then we see, I would say, infinite possibilities on how to make use of them.
Então, primeiro você aprende a fazer os GANs básicos e depois você vê a infinidade de possibilidades para se fazer uso deles.
But if the objective is to help someone in an emergency, someone that requires energy, and you don't have access to the CO2, we can go directly provide energy to that individual who needs energy, even without CO2, because you yourself is energy.
Se você quer ajudar uma pessoa, por exemplo, que precisa de energia e você está sem CO2, você pode prover energia para essa pessoa mesmo sem estar com o seu GANs de CO2, porque você é feito de energia.
Well, I think that will be clear on how we deal with things that we are facing right now.
E eu acho que isso vai ser claro para você poder lidar com as coisas que estamos enfrentando agora.
What you said here, Bernie, it is the connection to the carbon-14.
Jalal disse, o que você disse agora é a verdadeira conexão com o carbono 14.
What you sending, what you are giving.
O que você está enviando, o que você está dando.
Yeah.
This is the highest.
Esse é o mais elevado.
You
Go
see,
ahead, Bernie, please.
in science, I provided in the chat the link to the definition as it is seen in science, the definition of how the scientists describe it, where they were able to see it, where they were able to observe, and indeed, it is similar to how it is seen in plasma science, but only using maybe some minor difference in use of words.
Bom, ele disse que na ciência tem diferentes nomes para as mesmas coisas.
So when somebody asks a question about something, I usually ask a question in return to clarify what is your objective, what is it that you want to do, simply because maybe there are other ways that you can do it the easy way, or in a more profound way that it doesn't put you in a situation that you simply go in circles. And sometimes you forget the final objective because of that.
Yeah, I understand. Ele disse que por isso que ele sempre pergunta qual é o objetivo, porque às vezes tem maneiras mais fáceis e mais profundas de atingir isso do que às vezes você ficar rodando em círculo.
When Jalal said it is a behavior, and I see it as a state, a transitional state, meaning you can do it also by thoughts.
O Jalal disse que ele é apenas um comportamento, e eu disse que ele é apenas uma transição. Então, isso significa que você pode fazer isso simplesmente com seus pensamentos.
Similar to holding an emotion to a state where you want it to be, it's up to you what level or what strength you're going to hold, that while you're holding at it, you're linked or you tune in to the same energy that is where you want to be attracted to.
Uhum. E é a mesma coisa com as emoções. Quando você segura uma emoção, é o mesmo tipo de energia que você vai ser atraído.
You see, in plasma science, you want to, everything is energy, you see, energy. Let's say you are here. Let me go back to annotate. You are here, then, so you have this strength. Let's say you have a strength there. Another one, let's say, another one also have, let's say, in this area also a different strength. Like every element have different strength. And
então, na ciência do plasma, se você está aqui, você tem uma força específica e tem outra pessoa ali que tem outra força específica, assim como cada elemento tem uma força específica.
you want to go to this. Conventionally, we exert effort. Let's say you drive a car to a destination, you exert effort driving your car. The car exert effort going there. In plasma technology, you let the destination pull you towards it by tuning to its energy.
Uhum. Então, geralmente, quando você quer ir desse ponto para o outro, você se empenha, gasta energia para pegar o carro e ir lá. Mas na ciência do plasma, a gente sintoniza com aquela energia e é atraído para lá.
And if you are not moving, you're just stationary, and you want to have that strength, you simply focus on that strength, and that will be, it will appear, it will be attracted, but yes, it gathers up, similar to making the CO2 guns. You tune into that strength of carbon, and this accumulates in your container.
E é assim que você faz o seu ganso de CO2, você sintoniza com aquela força do carbono e ele é acumulado dentro do seu recipiente. So, let me ask you, so we can use this with the emotion and attract the emotion what we want? And...
Yes.
Aí eu perguntei a ele,
thing.
então a gente pode atrair a emoção que a gente quer?
This is how we operate. Our body operates like this.
É assim que a gente opera, nosso corpo opera exatamente assim.
Every living entity is designed like this. The plants, the animals are doing this automatically.
Cada entidade ela é desenhada para ser assim. As plantas e os animais fazem isso automaticamente.
Even unconsciously. That's why Mr. Keshe will always say, the body knows what it needs. The body will simply take what it needs. When it's full, it's full.
Uhum.
Then it will stop.
Por isso que o Keshe diz que o corpo sabe o que ele precisa. Quando você estiver cheio, seu corpo não vai mais precisar, você não vai se lembrar mais.
And what the body has been doing is simply tuning into the need. What specific element it needs. You present it right there. Then automatically it has less effort because you presented it in a form of GANs.
Uhum. Então o que o corpo faz, ele sintoniza com esse elemento que ele precisa, que está disponível ali. E você torna ele disponível quando você coloca o GANs lá.
But you did not exert consciously, physically, extra effort to gather all this energy and put it in your, or where you want them to put in every cell of your body. You did not do that. It is done automatically for you because your body is designed that way.
Uhum. Isso é feito automaticamente pelo seu corpo, porque o seu corpo foi desenhado para fazer isso. Por isso que você não precisa de gastar energia, se esforçar para tornar isso disponível para cada célula do seu corpo. O seu corpo que vai sintonizar e pegar o que ele precisa.
So there is an analogy for this that for everyone to easily understand. You have a friend. His name is A, for example. The other friend name is B. Just for the sake of this conversation. You want to contact A, of course, you think of A. You have the number of A, you call this number of A, and what do you get? A. You focus on B, and what do you get? B. As simple as that. But you put this extra effort of doing the focusing, and that's it. Dialing number and the phone rings on the other side, and you get the exact person that you want to contact. So the same thing. Let's say before we use a phone number, we dial with a rotary phone. You dial this one. This time we have the keypad. Yeah, so less extra effort now. This time we have the touch screen. Then the next time we have the voice. And instead we are doing the same communication. You see the analogy now?
Yeah.
So next level in plasma science, you simply use your thoughts. You don't need to make use of the individual guns and devices, just your thoughts. And to tell you, it is possible because we've done it already.
Ok, I need 1 second. O que ele disse é o seguinte, quando você quer falar com alguém, você pensa naquela pessoa e você já sintoniza com ela. Mas a gente veio daqueles telefones antigos, com aquele botão que fazia que ia girando, esse primeiro que ele desenhou aqui, e aí depois, para ter menos esforço, veio aquele celular com os botõezinhos, e agora é touchscreen, e depois é só o comando de voz, e depois vai chegar um momento, que já está chegando, que vai ser tudo mentalmente. Isso é possível no plasma, e isso já foi provado, eles já estão fazendo isso, ok?
So it's a similar analogy, you see, and I believe we are, not that I believe, but I know we are already, because we are by design, our body is ready. It's really up to us to be oriented in that manner that we make use of what we already are. Yes, there are, let me continue this one. Yes, there are I would say elementary ways of doing this, and we've done that with the ganses, the nano, and so on and so on. But we are ready to do the next level.
Ele disse que nosso corpo é projetado assim, nós já estamos prontos para fazer isso, apenas temos que nos acostumar. Que tem maneiras mais simples de fazer através dos GANs, mas se a gente quiser fazer da maneira mental, nós vamos fazer, que nosso corpo já é preparado para isso. Ok?
And the requirement there is to focus on ourselves, and especially if we have difficulty in finding the right materials. It's really a hurdle for in plasma science to find these materials. When somebody speaks, you need the guns of gold. Oh my goodness, where can I find this gold? You see, it's a hindrance to our development.
Ele está dizendo que, por isso que quando às vezes alguém diz, eu preciso fazer tal coisa, eu preciso de um ganso de ouro. Meu Deus, onde eu vou arrumar ouro para fazer esse ganso de ouro? Como que eu vou conseguir esse ganso de ouro? Então, ele está querendo dizer que nós não precisamos de tudo isso.
But that doesn't mean all those things, all these plasma devices are obsolete or useless. They are still useful, because these are stepping stones for the newcomers to also start learning, because we are used to have things in front of us to hold, to form, that we can understand or ride on with the concept. It's a good first step to do that, but most of us already have that. Then when time comes that you have lack of access to these materials, then that I would say that's the signal for you to go to the next level.
Ele está dizendo que esses métodos mais que a gente usa de dispositivos e GANs vão ser sempre para os novatos que estão chegando e tal. Mas quando você vê que você está com dificuldade de encontrar esse material, vá para o próximo nível, vá fazer da outra maneira.
Because focusing on the materials, we can have a lot of excuses not to continue, because we don't have this, we don't have this. How can we make this?
É porque se focar nos materiais, a gente vai ter muita desculpa para não continuar, né? A gente fala, a gente não tem isso, como que a gente vai fazer?
then we have to go back to basics like understanding ourselves. Why are we like this and that? What is our capability? There are a lot of teachings, not only in the plasma science, but also in other teachings that teaches us our abilities, our capability, and what is really going on. And let's make use of all available resources of like these teachings to make our journey much easier.
Ele disse que tem muitos ensinamentos que passam para a gente como fazer isso, não somente na ciência do plasma. Então temos que fazer uso dessas ensinanças para tornar a nossa vida mais fácil.
In other words, let us not limit ourselves just because it is defined that way, that we have to have this in order to get this. It is true. It is true, but it's not absolute. Meaning there is also another way of doing things.
I understand. Ele disse que, resumindo, não vamos nos limitar. Não é porque me disseram que eu tenho que ter isso para ter aquilo, para conseguir aquilo outro, né? Não significa que isso não é verdade. Isso é verdade, mas também tem outras maneiras de se fazer diretamente.
Okay, I think that would be all for that. It covers also a lot of my background on how I do things. So you can understand on my point of view also of doing things.
Então ele disse um pouco sobre isso para passar como que é o ponto de vista dele, o background dele, como que ele trabalha, para a gente entender um pouco como é a mente dele.
If you have more questions, then raise them now and let's answer it together, or anyone can also provide answers if you know or if you have something to add.
Então, se vocês têm mais perguntas, façam aí, podemos todos respondê-las juntos.
Come, guys, ask a questions. Make use of his presence today with us.
Okay, I will make a question for the newcomers. How would you present or introduce the technology for a person that never knew about the plasma, the guns, and all this stuff? How would you introduce and summarize the plasma knowledge and technology? Okay, I need to translate. Minha pergunta para ele é o seguinte: para as pessoas que são novatas, né, que chegaram agora, como ele explicaria a ciência do plasma e toda a tecnologia do plasma? Como ele resumiria ou apresentaria?
I present it according to the need of the individual.
Eu apresento ela de acordo com a necessidade do indivíduo.
Let me tell you a story. There is this close friend of mine who come here, and before we become friends, he's a driver, a cab driver.
Like
I
me.
need a ride. Yeah, I need a ride, so I went into the front seat, and I was excited that time, and I start sharing. We're just sharing, talking about there is a technology that like this and that, plasma science. It's just an introduction of what we can do with this technology. Then, of course, it is a short time. Just commute from one point to another place. Then another time, of course, he got interested, and another time we meet again. We cross our path again. Then there is this need, because he already have this idea of what the technology can do. He presented the need, like he have a daughter with 2 months. For 2 months, a wound doesn't heal
Uhum.
And the way I present, okay.
Ok, I need to translate. Ok. Ele está dizendo que ele tem um rapaz que é um grande amigo dele, que é um motorista, né, assim como eu, Danilo. E ele conheceu o cara, tal, pegou um táxi para ir do ponto A ao B, e nesse meio termo foi falando sobre a tecnologia do cara. E aí um dia o cara ligou falando que tinha uma necessidade para lidar com algo, com a tecnologia. Era sobre, se eu não me engano, a filha dele que estava com uma ferida que não cicatrizava. Ok, please continue.
So the first meeting that we had, it was just, you would say it's just by chance, because I was excited. I have to share. This person already have, at that point, he got the overview that there is this thing, the existed technology that can be applied for health, agriculture, and energy. Then he got curious. Maybe over time he got thinking. Then we meet again. Then he presented the need. I presented a solution now. So this time it is specific. Then for him to stand on his own, I have to tell him how to make this. For example, CO2 guns. Then I also added CH3 and CO2, and application of each, the common application, how to use these individual gases. Then he take it as is and applied it. 2 months later, we meet again with him with a lot of good news. And from then on, every week he brings a friend in need. Another friend, another week, also have a different need. And he witnessed different methods or different approach, how I explain it to the person according to the need.
Ok, I need one second. Então, ele disse que depois de 2 meses, não, voltando, né? Ele estava com a filha com um problema que não cicatrizava, uma ferida, e ele ensinou o rapaz a fazer gás de CO2, CH3, como aplicar para ajudar ela. E depois de 2 meses, ele recebeu a resposta, ele teve ótimos resultados, e aí esse amigo dele começou a trazer diversas pessoas com problemas, né? Sempre aparecia alguém com problema. E ele começou a ensinar sempre essas pessoas, e sempre de maneiras diferentes, de aplicar a tecnologia, sempre com ótimos resultados, ok?
So for the technology to be interesting to the recipient or to your audience, you have to first listen to your audience, gauge them accordingly to their background or what is it. It's not ideal you talk a lot of this carbon, hydrogen, neutron, nitrogen, and the person doesn't have, is not inclined to that field.
Ele disse que por isso que é importante você saber qual a necessidade do seu público. Não adianta você começar a falar de carbono 14, hidrogênio, nitrogênio, que o cara não vai se interessar.
Instead, you have to adapt to the level of understanding of that individual. Like, you know what? We just use this water. We put a drop of, let's say, maybe this liquid. We call this liquid plasma, and this is just water with guns that I told you about how to make these guns. And a drop of it to put in your, let's say, a drinking water, and you make use of that as you spray that on your skin, or just wet your skin with that, and it can help. It can accelerate the healing. You have a cut on your finger, just wash it with this water, and you see now the conversation becomes layman's term, easier to understand and implement, and no difficulty.
Então, tipo assim, você está com problema, então eu vou te ensinar aqui a fazer água. Eu tenho uma água aqui, você pega e você está com o dedo cortado, você lava seu dedo com essa água, ele vai cicatrizar mais rápido, você borrifa no seu corpo. Então, você tem que adaptar ao nível de entendimento da pessoa para que fique interessante para ela.
So if I speak to a doctor, for example, with an open mind, the doctor is open-minded and willing to learn, I speak according to the terms he is familiar with. use medicine. So I'll speak medicine. I'll relate it how we using the different ganses to the water, but in a way, the way he think using medicine. So it is that way how I present this technology. For a farmer, for example, he make use of fertilizers. He buy this sacks of fertilizer, he pays it accordingly. Then he have a hard time of bringing this to the farm and have it cost him a lot. Then we will relate using these fields of ganses, this liquid plasma, for example. And it's just like you're delivering fertilizer to the plant, but this time it's much lighter, much easier, and it's easier to replicate, and it doesn't cost much. So you have to see it at the point of view of the recipient. Under difficulty, under let's say it costs for them this much. Here plasma science doesn't cost much. It is heavy to bring this to the farm. It requires this and that. Here, very light. You can put it in your pocket. Something like that.
Então ele disse que, por exemplo, quando ele conversa com o médico, ele traz já mais termos científicos e médicos, fala mais complicado. Quando ele está falando com o fazendeiro, por exemplo, o fazendeiro precisa de comprar fertilizante, custa caríssimo. Aí ele vai lá e ensina como aplicar a tecnologia, que é muito mais barata, que cabe no bolso dele. Ok?
Okay. By doing so, it is easily welcomed by the individual. It doesn't have. It will not have any difficulty in adapting. Another example is let's make this quick. A tricycle driver with red eyes, and he opened up a conversation like he have this problem because the shop owner who do the welding is not available, so he just do it himself, the welding process, and this smoke of welding, the stick welding, reach the eye, so that's why the red condition, and it's painful. It takes a week. Usually it takes a week for it to be for you to recover, or sometimes 2 weeks. And I introduced, there is a science that can help you. I learned this from plasma science that we can make use of. Let's go to my house. I'll give you water to wash your eyes. That I can help you. As simple as that. Then later I told him that this is not by chance, this is science. And he said, oh, I love science. Then I proceed to the science. First, I approach it in a way that it's just a solution. Just try this. I have water that can help you ease the pain. And I tell you, 30 minutes, no more problem. So he become interested because he need it. Then while we have that water, I describe now using the real reason of why we have this. It's plasma science. And then when you hear the word science, and it matches to what he want, even when he was a child, I love to learn science, become interested. Okay, let's sit down and I'll tell you, I'll teach you before you can go home, you can do a lot of things like in health, agriculture, energy. I teach him I shared to him the 3 basic ganses and the applications. We spend, let's say, 1 hour and a half, and that's it.
Então ele disse que uma vez um rapaz que estava com um problema de irritação no olho, e ele ofereceu para o rapaz uma água para ele lavar o olho, e depois o rapaz melhorou, e depois o rapaz quis aprender mais sobre essa água, e ele começou a falar em termos, já começar a explicar a tecnologia. Então ele vai sempre dessa maneira intuitiva de ajudar o próximo, sempre oferecendo uma solução para a pessoa se interessar e depois ensinar.
So the pattern is the common among in any event is there is a need, we have the answer to the need. We present it according to their level of understanding or related to their background. Then we have to simplify it that they can take it easily. Then we also provide them what other possible uses or what other future possibilities of doing this. And you tell them that you can contact me anytime. I'm open for discussion. If you're interested, you can bring your friends and this and that. So that's how I do it. And it's been like that for over the years. Very effective.
Very nice. Pessoal, alguém tem alguma pergunta para fazer ao nosso amigo Verne? Fiquem à vontade. Please, guys, feel free to open your mic and make your question. Cristiano, tem alguma pergunta no YouTube? Se alguém puder averiguar lá, pessoal do Brasil. Por gentileza.
Oi, Danilo.
Olá, Jefferson.
Boa noite, Danilo. Boa noite a todo mundo. Hello, Jalal. Hello, Verne. This is Jefferson. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I have heard some one of your experiences through the private teachings that I haven't been able to join due to some problem with my Zoom. And it's very nice. Thank you very much. And if you can give some experience that you had, I think, during the hurricane or typhoon in your place where you live, and the way that you deal to help the people and to use this technology at the full strength, I think, to help everybody. That was amazing experience that you brought. Thank you very much, my friend. Pessoal, Danilo, eu vou falar rapidinho aqui.
Por favor, por favor.
Pessoal, porque o Verne, eu acompanhei uma aula que ele deu, durante uma aula no ensino privado, que eu não tenho tido oportunidade de comparecer, mas ele deu a forma que ele utilizou essa tecnologia do GANs durante um tufão que houve, eu acredito que seja nas Filipinas, onde muitas pessoas morreram, e como ele utilizou toda essa tecnologia para salvar milhares de pessoas. Essa foi a pergunta que eu fiz. Ok, thank you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Yeah, it was 2 months experience without contact with the outside world, meaning no communication, no electricity, scarcity of food. Though, yes, we have help from neighboring cities and even from far cities within the country. But our situation, local situation that time was, we have the community must form again where everybody have to communicate, help one another in any way. And plasma science, again, says the knowledge help us get through and help individuals, like someone have a huge cut on the leg, already infected, and 3 days time, it is okay because of plasma water, CO2. So, and others have accidents also, or experience that some objects fell on them, and again, CO2 were able to accelerate the healing process. And when you don't have access to the usual things, knowledge is knowledge is very useful. Your knowledge of the technology is very useful. It makes you strong. You don't panic at all.
Ok, give me 1 second, please. Ele disse que foi uma experiência muito intensa, foram 2 meses sem contactar ninguém, porque não tinha internet, não tinha nada, escassez de comida, foi um caos completo, e ele disse que quando você tem um conhecimento, você não entra em pânico, porque por mais que você esteja passando por essa situação, você não fica apavorado, porque você tem muita ajuda do conhecimento e da tecnologia, como por exemplo, uma pessoa que estava com um ferimento enorme e estava todo infeccionado, e com a ajuda da água de CO2 conseguiu recuperar essa situação. Pessoas que se machucaram e tiveram a cicatrização bem mais rápida por causa do CO2. Ok, Verne.
Okay. I'm ready to take more questions. If I let me tell you my background. We use the technology here in automotive, in electrical. We use for health. We use for agriculture, and we can even go to some level, like without using any devices, you can provide energy.
Yeah, that's my mainly question as a driver, because it's very hard to make a McGrath. I'm following Mr. Keshe for 2 years, but I don't have the strength to make it, you know. And but I think we have a hand up here before. Alguém quer fazer pergunta? O pessoal tinha visto uma mão levantada aí. Eu acho que ele caiu. Okay. Is there any possibility to help the consumption of the fuel on the car without McGrath, or simple way?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, I need to translate my question. Eu disse para ele, né? Ele estava falando que ele utiliza na saúde, em carros, tal. E eu falei para ele que é uma dúvida que eu tenho, porque eu tô há 2 anos já, mais ou menos, na fundação, ainda não tenho confiança para fazer uma grave. Perguntei se tem alguma maneira mais simples de melhorar o consumo do carro. Ele falou sim, tem. Okay, can you explain a little bit?
Hold to your chairs, guys. Go ahead, Bernie.
O Jalal disse, segurem nas suas cadeiras para não caírem. Okay, Bernie.
We have to go to the basic knowledge. You have the matter state. Let's say this is copper wire.
Okay, if we go little by little, so I can do a better job, okay? Então vamos passo a passo, que é um fio de cobre.
And you nanocoat it by using fire. So nanomaterials are now on the surface.
Você revestiu ele com fogo, né? Com o maçarico, revestiu.
You also aware of another method of nanocoating, which is using caustic, and you have this nanomaterials also on your copper wire.
E tem outro método usando a direita aqui, usando só da cáustica.
The one done by nanocoating using fire is more giving in terms of energy. It provides more. It's a giving, meaning it is more magnetical in our terms, plasma terms. This one is more stronger in gravitational fields. The one done by caustic.
Ele está falando que o que é feito pela cáustica tem um campo gravitacional muito mais forte, o que é feito pelo fogo tem um campo magnético muito mais forte, então ele dá muito mais.
And the one we describe as magnetical and the one we describe as more gravitational in relation to electricity or to DC or a battery. This is your positive polarity and this is your negative polarity.
Ok, então em termos de, em outras palavras, o do fogo é mais magnético, o que é feito com a cáustica é mais gravitacional. Em termos de eletricidade, falando de energia, seria positivo o feito pelo fogo e negativo feito pela cáustica.
And we know magnetical is more giving energy, and this nanomaterials is in a state that more giving, and on the graph it's more absorbing. Of course, magnetical still absorbs energy from the environment, from the guns, from the fields. Same with the graph, but it's more dominant on giving.
Ele está dizendo que não que o fogo, né, que é o magnético, não vai absorver, ele também absorve, mas ele é mais predominante em dar, e do outro caso também.
So we can make use of this, even just by using this alone. It can augment the performance. It can contribute improvement on the performance of, especially the combustion engine.
Ele falou que isso pode melhorar, usando esse método aqui, pode melhorar o consumo de combustível.
And the simplest way of doing it, if you have, let's say, that if you really want to test the technology, if it works or not, find the smallest copper you can find, like almost as thin as your strand of hair. Just nanocoat it that you won't melt it. Just make sure to nanocoat it. even as tiny as this, or a centimeter or less than centimeter, you have a battery, car battery, motorcycle battery, no problem if it, as long as it is a battery, you have the negative terminal, you have the positive terminal. You attach your nano-coated copper by fire on the negative.
Ok. Então ele disse assim: pegue o fio mais fino que você encontrar de cobre, nano-revista no fogo e ligue na bateria, no polo negativo da bateria do seu carro ou da sua moto, não importa o que.
It is beautiful to see that the condition in a car and a motorcycle, there is already energy fluctuation from the generator in the car, which is called the alternator. And plasma works in a manner, if there is fluctuation, it tries to, when there is a downfall of signal or energy or voltage, it tries to level it back to the previous level.
Like,
This is where,
like balancing.
yeah, it tries to put it back because it dives, meaning it falls down when there is a sudden load, it voltage go down, it tries to, plasma will rush in through to lift it up to that level. Let's say 12 volts, it went to 11.5, it tries to put it back again to 12 volts. That rush of energy will influence the combustion process.
Ele está dizendo que o plasma tende a equilibrar. Vamos dizer que seu carro é 12 volts, do nada cai para 11.5. O plasma tende a trazer ele, trabalha para trazer ele para os 12 volts de novo. Isso influencia no consumo de combustível.
It doesn't matter how tiny your nano-coated copper you put on the negative line of the battery. It doesn't matter. As long as you can hold it, you can put it there, that's okay. The tiniest you can make, just do it. It is to challenge if the technology is true or not. Do it that way for you to appreciate later that it provides energy.
I just paused like this, a little wire.
Yeah, that's too big. A small one, even that can do.
Yeah, but I just leave it like this with not
Correct.
No connection here.
Correct. Just let one end as part of the clamp of if it is a motorcycle, you have a screw there that goes with the positive connector. Just put it as part of the screw that it can be held tight. That's it.
Yeah. Então, ele falou que simplesmente você prende junto com o parafuso, né? O negócio que prende a bateria aqui, para ele ficar bem apertado e pode ser bem pequenininho. Ele falou, se vocês querem saber se a tecnologia funciona mesmo, façam isso no carro de vocês ou na moto, vocês vão ver.
The idea is it touches the terminal. The nano-coated copper must touch the terminal. So
a ideia
the simplest thing.
O cobre nano encoste no terminal. Isso é muito simples.
Do you need feedback, Bernie?
Feedback?
What I done, I put nano-coated caustic here.
O Jalal disse que ele pôs nano revestido com cáustica.
And my car, it takes 2 times to start.
That's why I told you when you say that, put it on the other side.
I done it. I changed it today from negative to the positive, and it start from the first time.
Bom,
And
o Jalal
when you have
disse,
this, yeah.
O Jalal disse que estava demorando 2 vezes mais para pegar o carro dele. E aí depois ele mudou esse fiozinho para o positivo e aí pegou mais rápido.
Directly, you know, without hesitating. It starts directly.
The idea is when we do it this way, no connection on the other side. It's the environment you are connecting with plus. You see, when you do this, you have to connect it in a handshake manner, meaning mag to grab or grab to mag. So positive to negative. It should be a handshake way of doing it. Open, the other side is open, that it receives energy from the environment. The concept is something like that. But the idea is to have the correct polarity when applying this way. And doing it the opposite, will hinder the effect is also opposite. If you experience improvement in performance, meaning you don't need to squeeze the throttle deeper or much farther because you already let's say if it is a car, you have your accelerator pedal. Usually you press it somewhere here to get a certain performance. Because you have extra energy now that improves the combustion process, you only need to press some up to here. This is already your fuel savings.
Ele está dizendo que ali que ele desenhou é o pedal de acelerador. Quando você faz esse processo, você precisa acelerar menos, o carro responde mais rápido.
If it is a motorcycle, and this is your, assuming this is the face of the motorcycle, and this is the back, this is your throttle. Usually the throttle is on the right hand. So this is the wheel. So you don't need to squeeze more of this throttle on your handle, because the motorcycle performs well already. There is another way to improve it further, and no need to touch this battery. Instead, for gasoline engines, you go directly to the high tension wire that goes to the spark plug.
Spark what?
The same spark plug. You see,
what is spark plug?
You have a gasoline engine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like this? Spark
plug. It is
a vela,
vela.
Ah, é a vela. Okay.
And you have this. This is inside your engine.
Yeah.
Power gap. Like
and you have this high tension, this rubber boot, and you have this high tension wire, meaning spark plug wire. You disconnect this, you insert the nano-coated copper that it touches the center wire, then you put it back, because in here you have the screw that goes through here. So you just insert the nano-coated copper wire, meaning this must be a tiny wire, like similar to a network cable wire.
Like it's not like 0.5, is smaller.
The gauge of the computer cable wire is, I think, number 24. That small of wire, you cut a small portion, nano-coated already, you insert it here, and that's it. And you close this back. You put it back that it is inserted. It touches the wire in the middle, and also the screw here. You have the screw here. That's it, because this is in contact with the metal here. You have a metal here.
So you have a better performance.
Correct, because it improves the energy spark and the energy on the ground. It's the same thing. We touch the ground, but through the engine. Your spark plug will always be clean. You don't need to change for several years. Even if your spark plug is already ruined or receded due to 10 years, for example, 5 years, meaning the gap is no longer this, but already much better. In fact, I recommend you to cut this or to move this. That you see, if this is your spark plug, this is the ceramic, and this is the middle, and this is the ground prong. If you want to improve the performance, you cut it here, or you move this line to here, that you have this open area. If you have difficulty of doing this, don't bother. Just do this.
So it's a very, very thin wire, like from the computer.
Correct.
But must be a copper wire.
Copper wire, nano-coated by fire.
When you put a so thin wire on the fire, it will not melt?
It will not. Just be quick.
Okay.
When you apply torch or stove, LPG stove, just be quick that you only look for the surface that it shines. It's just
Shine
like
red.
new.
Like
Not
red
red.
shining? No?
No, not red. After it looks like gold or brand new copper, it goes into red color. That's beyond the temperature already.
So it is before the red and living
right
color.
before it turns red,
It's
it is
like
shiny. Then you remove it from the flame.
it's
Then
like
you do it again.
when you have the rainbow color, or is
No,
before the
rainbow color means it's colder. So you need more heat. Just expose it farther.
It's like a golden color.
Correct. Then you remove it. It will interact with the environment, and plasma energy will flow because you have the extreme temperature there, room temperature and 1000 temperature on the flame.
And I can do it on my kitchen.
Correct.
When you say is an internet cable, you mean that you have this thin wire?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 24 or any.
It's a gauge 24.
Yes. Or any wire you can access, stranded wire, and take one strand. That's it. But the challenge with the tiniest wire is on the nano coating part, because sometimes you lose control, it will melt or it will fall off. That's okay. Just practice.
And you do this on each spark or only one?
For a car, you do that on individual. Since you have 4 spark plugs, 3 spark plugs. For the motorcycle, you only have 1.
I have in my car is 3 cylinders, so I have 3 sparks. So I do on the both on the 3.
Yes. It's very easy to do. Or if you don't want to access that, just put it on the negative of the battery.
Can I do both?
Yes, you can.
I will do it. I will try. Okay, I need to translate now.
Daniel, why always bigger things? Best things.
Yeah. Ok, pessoal, ele falou o seguinte, vou resumir. Então tem a questão de pôr o fiozinho no negativo da bateria, um fiozinho bem fininho, o mais fino que você conseguir, pluga no negativo da bateria, nano revestido com fogo. E tem um jeito melhor ainda, que dá mais resultado ainda, você pode fazer ambos, né? Esse outro jeito é você pegar um fiozinho de internet, tirar aqueles fiozinhos bem pequenininho, parece um cabelo de cobre. Ele a medida dele é o gauge 24. E você pega esse fiozinho bem pequenininho e coloca dentro do cabo de vela. Aqui está a vela, isso aqui que ele desenhou é a vela. Aqui está o cabo onde conecta na vela, você abre e coloca o fiozinho bem fininho aqui, ó. Ele vai prender no parafuso e vai ter contato aqui. O fiozinho nano revestido. Você pode fazer no fogão mesmo. É um fio bem fininho. Ele disse que não pode deixar chegar naquele vermelho vivo. Para quem faz nano revestido no fogo, a temperatura ideal não é aquele vermelho vivo, é antes daquilo e é depois daquela cor de arco-íris. Porque quando você faz no fogo, ele vai dando uma coloração meio de arco-íris, depois fica dourado, depois vai para a cor do vermelho vivo. Então, você não quer... O vermelho vivo já passou da temperatura ideal, a cor de arco-íris está antes da temperatura ideal, então é quando o cobre começa a ficar dourado. Então é isso, pessoal. Ok, Vern, thank you very much. Se alguém quiser perguntar, pessoal, fiquem à vontade.
Danilo, só um detalhe. O fiozinho, né, onde ele mandou colocar na vela, ele vai conectado na parte de cima da vela, né? Se encostar na parte de baixo, o fiozinho com a parte da ponta onde tem a cerâmica, você vai colocar em curto a vela, por exemplo, e a centelha não vai pular.
Pelo que eu entendi.
Isso é melhor?
Pelo que eu entendi, é na parte de cima, porque aqui, ó, aqui tá aquela parte da vela onde sai, deixa eu desenhar. Aqui tá, ele desenhou aqui, ó, essa parte da vela onde dá a fagulha. Aqui a cerâmica é na parte de cima aqui, onde o cabo encosta
a parte isolada.
Você não vai pôr na vela, você vai pôr no cabo que encaixa na vela, entendeu?
Não entendi direito, não.
Ok.
No plasma,
Cristiano, não dá para entender nada que você fala. Cristiano, fala de novo.
Eu falei assim, é para não ter perca do plasma, para o plasma passar pelas camadas direto, entendeu?
Deixa eu perguntar para ele. So, Verne, people want to know where exactly the wire is connected to the spark. They say that if you connect to the ceramic, you're going to have a problem.
No, not the ceramic.
Realmente não é na cerâmica. So, is where the cable of the spark connect with the spark, is it?
Yes. Just connect it to the middle of the wire, spark plug wire.
Apenas conecte no meio do cabo que se conecta à vela.
É no cachimbo, Danilo. Cachimbo da vela. Sabe
Pode ser isso.
É o cachimbo. Você só puxa antes do cachimbo, você desencaixa o cachimbo da vela, desencaixa o fio do cachimbo, aí enfia o fiozinho, monta de novo e põe na vela.
Entendi. Legal. É o cachimbo mesmo, o Dan tá desenhando ali o cachimbo. Ok, thank you, Verne. I think we got it.
Obrigado.
Obrigado, Alexandre. Pessoal, sintam-se à vontade para abrirem os microfones. Hey guys, feel free to open your mic and make your question. Let's take benefit from Verne.
I can provide you a PDF file with photographs of how to do it.
Very
different
nice.
engines. I'm
Ele
just
disse
looking at it on my Google Drive, so you can download it. Distributing this.
Take it easy, Bernie. Take it easy.
Yeah.
No, take it harder.
Wait. Yeah, Bernie, you remember when Alex present with Mr. Keshe? And
Yes.
Alex bring everything out, and Mr. Keshe, what he said? Take it easy. You will not get any money if you give everything.
Bom, o Verne falou que ele tem um PDF que ensina a fazer em diferentes motores e ele vai mandar o PDF para a gente.
600 Jalal.
Thank you.
200 plasmas.
No, it's a carbon. It's 600.
No, all the appreciation.
Danilo, eu queria fazer uma pergunta.
Por favor.
Oh.
Hello,
I'll
Jalal.
put in the chat the link.
Ok. Ele falou que colocou no chat aqui. Deixa eu copiar que eu não quero perder isso. The chat on the Zoom or the Telegram?
Zoom.
I don't see on the Zoom any
Wait,
link.
I'm about to paste the.
Ok. Ele vai colar aqui no bate-papo aqui, pessoal. Ok, Cláudia, vai fazendo sua pergunta em português, que daí depois eu traduzo. Ou se você quiser fazer em inglês.
Eu vou fazer em inglês. E aí depois eu traduzo.
Deixa eu só perguntar uma pergunta que tem a ver com isso aí. Que agora eu vi no bate-papo aqui, Cláudia, desculpa, porque tem a ver com o assunto. Posso fazer?
Claro.
Tem a ver com esse assunto que a gente estava falando. Ok, Verne, sorry. We have a question regarding to the last topic. The question from Jasmine Cusano is this will allow your car to keep going if you run out of gas?
No, it will only improve the energy and the electrical system, plus that energy will help improve the burning of fuel. There is another way to add some kind of hydrogen on the engine. You attach. You have this. Let me draw a sample because it's easy also to do. You have a container, small bottle, even smaller than even a perfume bottle that is tiny, or a test tube, something like that. Any plastic will do. The idea is you have liquid plasma of CH3. You put nano-coated copper by fire. you attach this to a wire, let's say, and you have this, you make a hole on the cup bottle, you attach this wire, connect this to the intake manifold. If this is a car, the intake manifold usually is made of aluminum. You connect this wire with a bolt. There is a bolt there, so you attach this connected. This is CH3. You have, let's say, guns of CH3 over there. Tiny amount, even one single dot will do. And so this is just water. So it becomes liquid plasma of CH3. That's it. It can help.
You will connect this where?
To the intake manifold. If this is your engine block,
pessoal, se alguém puder me ajudar a entender que eu não consigo.
You have the intake manifold where you have your, if this is a 4-cylinder, you have the, this is your air intake, right? This is your engine. This is air. Air will go through here. It will go through the engine, the air, and you attach this. There is find a bolt that is an aluminum. This is aluminum here. Find a bolt somewhere here, a spare bolt, and attach this. If it is a carburetor, attach it on the carburetor, the metal part. This you have this I terminal connected to a wire that you can attach a bolt. Connect on the aluminum or the metal of the carburetor. If it is a carburetor, you have the intake manifold and you have some bolt somewhere here. So you have opening on the carburetor and you have the attachment to the air cleaner. So you attach on the body of the carburetor. That will do, because air goes through that way. Air goes through that way. There is vacuum in that, and because of that vacuum action, you have this energy. It will take. The idea is you have a nano-coated copper. You see, if you have a nano-coated copper, you have to understand this. This is very important. You have copper, matter state. You have nano. Then you have the liquid plasma. You have the guns, the fields of the guns in the container. We are transferring energy, and you have the matter state wire. We are transferring energy from the fields of the guns absorbed by the nano, from the liquid plasma absorbed by the nano, converted, because the nano is your interface to the matter state. The guns cannot go directly to the matter state. There has to be a nano as a transition layer. Then it goes to the matter state. Energy of CH3, particularly hydrogen, goes to the engine. You deliver energy. Or let's just say, in another point of view, when you have this, it attracts hydrogen from the environment, and you have concentration of hydrogen in your engine area. But this hydrogen doesn't explode because it only presents itself there during vacuum, and it is taken one at a time, meaning you have fuel energy that is not gasoline, but will help you use less gasoline, meaning it can be converted into fuel savings. And you want to save more, you adjust the engine timing and you reduce the amount of fuel used. But it requires some knowledgeable mechanic on the tuning part. But for regular car owners, don't bother of the tuning. Just make use of this, the easy way. Then you can still take advantage of the energy, libre energy, free energy.
You attach this to the manifold?
Manifold, the aluminum manifold, not the plastic.
No.
If you have a plastic manifold for modern engines, find the bolt that goes to the engine block. That's it. You have a bolt somewhere at the back. That, let's say this is the back portion. You have bolts there. You attach it on one of the. It will still do the same. The idea is you put it near the engine. So this should be hanging, if this is a small bottle, it should be hanging over here, very tiny. And that's it. That's secure. Just secure it right there. It won't fall because you have a wire. It is one way of also of influencing the air that goes in to the engine, introduced to the energy of CH3. There's another way of doing it in the matter state. You attach magnets, 3 of them. All the north side is facing the tube, the plastic tube. North side only. So you cannot use a magnet like this. Bar magnet will have north and south. No, you cannot do that. But you can use a magnet like this, where north and south is separated lengthwise. Then you put intake manifold north facing. You will. It's just, north is like positive. It's just like magnetical. So it influences the air going to the engine.
Okay, let me ask you. I don't know this word manifold. Is where the air comes into the motor,
okay.
The engine?
Yes. Okay, let me describe it to you. You know the engine block, the whole engine. You have a bulb cover, the engine have a cover. You have some 4 tubes there going on one side, and on the front you have also the exhaust, and have these tubes and turn into one hot pipe, because that's the exhaust. The opposite of the exhaust is the intake manifold. That's easy to find. You can find where the exhaust will go on the engine. That's the hot part. The runners for the exhaust is this. Usually, it could be on, for modern engines, it could be on the firewall, but for most older engines, it should be at the front near the radiator. At the back of that side of the engine, that's where your air cleaner goes to. That for carburetors, that's where your carburetor is.
Okay, so if I put 3 magnets with the north facing this
tube,
this
plastic tube,
I can do the same.
Not the same, but you charge the air correctly. And you put another set of magnet on the fuel line, fuel hose, but this time south. You see, there are products sold as magnets put on the fuel. The problem with there is that the factory did not know what side of the magnet should face. So it's a hit and miss situation. If you understand the science behind why they use magnet, you have to understand polarity, you have to understand north and south, and you have to understand energy spin to implement this correctly. And we all have that one. That's why I tell you, north is the way to go for air, south is the way to go to influence the fuel. When you have that one, much better performance.
Okay, let me tell you that we tried to open your document, your file,
Okay,
but we cannot do it. Several people tried. I think we don't have the correct program to run this file. Maybe, I don't know.
Let me. Is it a PDF file?
No, I think no, because I always open PDF.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. As you
PDF
try to deal with it, I will translate. Okay, please.
Okay.
Pessoal, eu vou ver se eu entendi. Pessoal aí que entende um pouco de inglês e de mecânica, me corrija se eu estiver errado. Mas me parece que é o seguinte: é a mangueira que leva o ar para dentro do motor. Você cata uma garrafinha de perfume, de vidro pequenininha, menor que de perfume, coloca CH3, água CH3, com um pouquinho de nada de CH3 dentro, pega um fio nano revestido, conecta a parte de alumínio dessa mangueira, esse cano, não sei, que leva o ar para lá. Isso vai fazer com que vá hidrogênio para dentro do seu motor, e aí vai melhorar bastante sua performance. Ele também diz que tem um outro método de você colocar 3 ímãs com o lado norte do ímã virado para essa mangueira, que também vai dar um efeito similar. E ele disse que a questão do nano é que ele é uma linha de conexão, porque o GANS ele é muito alto. Para ele chegar na matéria,
ele tem que passar pelo nano, e por isso que você põe esse fio nano para ele chegar dentro do motor lá, do esquema lá. Então, pelo que eu entendi, é isso. Se alguém puder me corrigir aí, que eu não entendo muitas palavras sobre carro, motor em inglês.
É isso aí, viu, Danilo? É isso aí. Manifold é coletor, né? Coletor de ar. Põe na entrada do ar, acha um parafuso ali que tiver. Se for de plástico, procura um lugar que tenha um parafuso que está conectado ao bloco, porque ali não vai ter problema, porque como ali o ar entra e ele trabalha no vácuo, então não tem problema do campo do hidrogênio ali naquela região.
Mas será que pelo fato de eu usar GNV vai dar problema?
Aí é bom perguntar para ele, mas eu acredito que não também.
Será que eles conhecem
Falar com
GNV? Será que
conhecem?
GNV é só no Brasil?
Acho que eles usam mais GNV do que a gente lá.
Você sabe como que chama GNV lá, você sabe?
É normal, eu acho que é... eu acho que é methane gas for cars or something.
Eu vou tentar. So let me ask you, Vernon. My car, I do not use gasoline as fuel. I use, we call it in Brazil, GNV, is a natural gas for vehicle.
I understand.
No problem. Do I have any problem? No?
No problem.
Okay, so
because we are energizing the whole engine, the air, everything.
So I will take this small bottle. I will connect this wire to the collector of R. Let's say I forget the name in English. To the aluminum part of this.
Correct.
Okay.
And the wire inside the bottle have this water, liquid plasma, and CH3 liquid plasma. It should be nano-coated by fire.
Ele só disse que tem que nano-revestir isso aqui pelo fogo, não pela cáustica. Tudo que é com carro, pessoal, é feito no fogo, não na cáustica.
Only the wire inside the bottle. The wire on the extension side, it's okay to use ordinary automotive wires. Let's say number 18, that's okay.
You mean this one?
Yes, no need to expose the nano outside. Only it has to be in the matter state that the conversion happened inside the bottle.
Então ele disse que aqui pode usar o fio normal, não precisa usar o nano revestido. O ideal é usar o nano feito pelo fogo aqui e saindo da garrafinha pequenininha de vidro, vai sair um fio normal que vai conectar na parte de alumínio do coletor de ar. You was talking about the spark, and you say that if you cut here, you have a better result. Can you say something about this? I really do not understand the science behind it.
Yes, of course.
Can I clean the drawing so you can draw bigger?
Yeah, please.
Okay, let me find here, clear. Okay.
Or let me clear it. It's my drawing.
I did it.
Okay.
Eu perguntei para ele sobre a vela, pessoal. Ele disse que se você cortar a pontinha da vela, você tem um resultado bom também. Eu não entendi qual é a lógica por trás disso. Eu perguntei para ele. So we have a Picasso here.
So this is your spark plug. You have the terminal, and maybe you have the you have the negative. Usually, it looks like similar to this. Right? This is the middle electrode. This is the ceramic. And usually, this is done this way. And the gap here is. It is common to have a gap similar to a hacksaw blade. That's for most engines, it works perfectly. Though manufacturers have recommendation on this, but the actual implementation is not optimal. Usually, this thickness here is similar to the thickness of a hacksaw blade. Hacksaw is the one you use to cut metal. That blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, you insert that blade here. That's distance, its thickness. So very close. Okay. When you have gasoline and air mixture, this is assuming this is inside the engine. It creates a ball of fire. The moment the spark jumps to this from the center electrode, because this center electrode have high voltage, several thousand volts, these poles. So when the spark goes here, that's the spark, creates this initial, they call it initial flame front, and you split it because you have this. If this is your spark plug, you split the fire. You divide it because of this blockage here. There is blockage. This will block. Understand? This will block. It's not efficient that way. It's not efficient compared to not being blocked by that object there, the ground electrode. If it is maybe this only on this side, then the initial flame will be much, no blockage, no, it will grow, it will grow, it will grow. The energy goes. This is done in racing, drag racing, any the racers do this.
So you have what? You have a better consumption?
Better performance means better consumption. Meaning less fuel. You don't need to press harder. Or if you continue to do the same pressing of the pedal, you'll arrive early because your car runs faster. That's why it is implemented in racing.
So I just take a device and I cut here.
Yeah, that's the easy way of doing it.
So it was like this, and now I cut here.
Yeah, and you just tap here with a hammer or a plier that it goes closer, that you maintain that gap of a hacksaw.
I understand.
So that's one way of improving the engine in a conventional manner, and it is done. All of my engines done that way. Motorcycle. Yeah, you see that picture?
Yeah.
So that's much easier if we annotate in that one.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
That will do.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you push this, or the best thing is simply to cut. That it's an open area, this part. And you use a file to round the corners. You have to round the corners that it's not sharp. It should not, there should be no sharp edge. That way, those part of the metal will not glow or cause pre-detonation. So this is good for people who are comfortable doing this. You can help other friends to do this if they are not comfortable doing this. This can help their vehicle also. For diesel engine, you don't do this because it doesn't have this. You only add nano-coated copper, nano-coated by fire on the negative battery terminal. That's it. Very easy.
Now I will translate to the person. Thank you, appreciate very much.
Okay.
O que ele disse é o seguinte, pessoal, como o Dan compartilhou aqui, ele está compartilhando a foto de uma vela, ele está dizendo que essa barreira aqui, deixa eu ver se eu consigo desenhar aqui na tela dele. Não sei, não consigo. Bom, ele disse que... Okay, then how can I draw into your screen? Let me check. I'm trying to... Peraí, pessoal. Como que eu faço para desenhar aqui na tela dele? Ok. Então é o seguinte.
I will reshare. I will share in the
okay.
picture way for annotate.
Okay, I will try to annotate to your drawing. Thank you for your help. Bom, ele está dizendo o seguinte, pessoal, que a vela, ela não é eficaz como ela poderia ser. O pessoal de corrida costuma fazer isso. Eles pegam a vela, cortam a pontinha dela e bate com o martelo e amassa, e depois lixa para ficar arredondado, e a distância ideal que tem que ficar entre a vela é de uma lâmina aquela serrinha que você usa para cortar ferro, comum, que é a amarelinha. Então, com isso, você vai ter mais eficiência e o pedal vai responder mais rápido, você vai ser mais eficiente e vai economizar bastante combustível.
Como é que é esse negócio de limar ali? Eu não entendi.
Então, é assim, ó, eu vou te ensinar. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo anotar na tela dele aqui. How can I annotate into your screen? I'm completely lost here.
You have in the left down corner one. You are in the phone or in the.
I'm on the computer.
Computer. Right in upper level, you have annotate in the right side upper.
Annotate. Now I found it. Thank you. Então, pessoal, é o seguinte, o que ele está dizendo é aqui, ó. Essa parte aqui cria um bloqueio no fogo que é gerado aqui para dar ignição. Então, o pessoal de corrida costuma fazer isso. Eles cortam aqui e amassam, bate com o martelo e amassa. A distância ideal aqui, que eu vou fazer em amarelo aqui, ó, é a distância de uma serrinha daquelas de cortar ferro. E o que o nosso amigo aí perguntou, o Alexandre, sobre ele disse que aqui tem que ficar arredondado. Depois que você cortar, você pega uma lixa de ferro e arredonda, porque não pode estar nada afiado, tem que estar tudo arredondado. E é basicamente isso que ele estava compartilhando. So a size like this would be nice, Vernie. Like I draw here, cut this much.
Yeah. In fact, if you look at it, that standard gap of the spark plug is very far. That's why engine doesn't perform very well. It's too far. The distance between the center electrode and the ground electrode. So one have to adjust it. The mechanic knows how to adjust it. It's part of the tuning process. But some mechanics are too lazy to do that. So one must understand why it is done that way.
And as you use this spark, the gap starts to get bigger, and then you have a bad behavior.
No problem. Even if the gap is already here let me annotate that one, because it's not that problem it will no longer be a problem for you. Let's say you started here. Years later, it's here, but it takes several years. Then you have this. Because it's already let's say 10 years you've been using the same spark plug, which is not usual for most people, and it's like that, no problem. The moment you have the nano on the wire here, even if you don't have this, no problem, it will jump. So this will also solve such issue that you have to replace your spark plug because this and that. With the nano, you don't need to frequently replace your spark plug.
Ele está dizendo. Okay. Continue.
Because the change in distance of the gap can be overcome by the higher energy of the plasma.
I will put it to my boat. I needed that.
Even if
Então,
you don't cut, even if you don't cut, that's okay, because some people don't have the they don't like doing this, or they are not comfortable doing this. That's okay. The most important part is you add the nano somewhere here, or if you have difficulty accessing this, just add on the negative side of the battery. That's the easiest way of doing it.
the wire on the negative side of battery don't need to be in a coil shape, just a little wire. Don't need to be like
Yeah,
this.
just a piece of wire. Any piece of wire that even a straight piece of wire, let's say half a centimeter will do. Just you just have to hide it. That the next time you go to a mechanic, if he tries to remove the battery, you take care of that nano coated. Usually they will just simply throw it away. They throw it away because they don't understand. It's just like garbage to them. So you put again another.
Yeah. Então, pessoal, ele disse que se quem não se sentir confortável em fazer isso, apenas coloca um fiozinho de 0,5 centímetro no polo negativo da bateria. Não precisa ser em formato de bobina, torcido, é só um fiozinho. Okay, maybe we can go to the next question. We have a question from Claudia. Can we go?
Okay.
Yes.
Então vamos lá.
Não tá tarde, Danilo? Só pergunta para ele.
Is it too late? Can we make another one, Bernie?
What make another one?
Is it too late to you where you live? Is it time to dream?
It's 6 a.m. No problem.
Ele falou que é 6 horas da manhã.
He
It's
just
not
wake up.
3 or 3:30 in the morning. No
He
problem.
just wake up. He just
Okay.
wake up.
Jalal will sleep. Okay. Bernie,
do this all day.
my name is Claudia. Can I ask a question about health?
Yes.
Okay. I was studying last month about the thymus and the lymph, and Mr. Keshe said that B cells could be a conductor or resistor and everything else, and could generate many diseases. But the thalamus, the thalamus is the central, they have the control and the informations of our body. So I will ask you because Mr. Keshe didn't explain about the thalamus in this class, so which protocols do you use to equilibrate the thalamus? Our emotion. To balance, yes.
Actually, when I balance everything. I don't go specific. I'll just the one who received the energy, I
can I translate my question?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Eu perguntei para ele sobre o tálamo, e na última aula que eu estudei sobre o timo e as linfas, né, não importava as doenças que o timo e a linfa causavam, porque tudo bem, eles tinham as alterações, mas quem controlava realmente era o tálamo, né, as emoções, a emoção do cérebro. Aí, nessa aula, o Sr. Keshe não explicava isso, então eu estou perguntando para ele qual o protocolo que ele usa para equilibrar o tálamo. É isso, that's okay, Bernie.
When there are several ways of balancing the body, and you can go specific to a point, or you can do all. The only hindrance in health applications is the person himself who received this, because you cannot force the person to accept energy. But when you explain to the person who will receive the energy to receive it without any hesitation, without doubt, it doesn't matter what's the condition of the person, meaning it's a condition in the brain, in the thalamus, in the leg, or what, it doesn't matter. Only liquid plasma of CO2 or CO2 water can do everything. In fact, it's the body that does everything. We only provide the energy for the body to use to accelerate its job of doing balancing of energy or repair or rebuilding of that particular part of the body.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Cláudio, você pode traduzir ele rapidinho, só para eu ver se meu filho está com fome aqui, que ele chegou da aula, eu não dei nada para ele comer. Você pode assumir só um pouquinho, 5 minutos eu volto?
Sim, sim.
Então tá. Ok.
Ele está falando... Você pode só traduzir essa parte? Ou você quer que eu já traduza?
Se você puder, que eu não estava nem prestando atenção.
Ele falou até agora que, na verdade, ele não fica específico em uma parte do corpo. Ele organiza, não importa se é tálamo, se é perna, então ele usa um protocolo do corpo geral que ele fala que a pessoa que tem que querer melhorar. Então é isso até agora. Ok, Vernon.
The common reason why not all of us were able to make use the application of this technology right away is because we focus on the complicated aspect of the application, meaning yes, it's possible to target in detail specific parts of the body, and that's okay. It's for my understanding, it's for the doctors to appreciate it and to have specific, but generally, for the general user's point of view, I don't have to go in the same direction simply because it can be a hindrance instead of a help for most of the people to implement this technology. So I would say, prepare the person, orient that the person is and have understood that we're using this, let's say, water, liquid plasma of CO2, the body can take energy from it because the body already know how to repair itself. It's in our DNA and the instruction is in the RNA. And the only thing repair or healing process is very slow because energy is we do not provide so much energy to accelerate the process. But when we provide this extra energy near the body or through as part of your bath water, when you shower or when you use water from a container, or from drinking, or if you're not comfortable drinking with a drop of liquid plasma, that's okay. You simply wash yourself with this water. That's it. You provide energy where the body can access, and the healing process accelerates because it can tap to this energy easily. Because we are in the GANs level, what you provided is in the GANs level also, so no extra conversion necessary. Like food, it needs to be converted in the stomach into GANs that we can absorb the energy. With the state of matter already in the GANs, then you're presenting available energy for the body to use right away. So healing process is accelerated. 4 days time becomes 1 day time. That's in that manner. That's how fast.
Ok. Então ele está falando assim que independe assim, se você dá um líquido de CO2 para a pessoa, você vai estar dando água plasmada e o processo de cura vai se processar mais rápido na medida do necessário. Ela vai pegar a energia necessária para ela. Então ele fala assim que você comendo um alimento que vai passar pelo estômago e vai ser processado como matéria e depois virar GANs, isso tem demora muito mais. Então ele fala que qualquer coisa que você entre em contato com GANs, com água plasmada, ou seja lá, né, que seja GANs, vai ser muito mais rápido esse processo de cura. But Bernie, which kind of GANs? Which kind of water?
CO2. Just
doesn't
CO2
matter.
because it touches almost everything. Okay, if you simply focus on the oxygen, that's a lot of help already. The oxygen part of the CO2, that's already a lot of help to us. It's gravitational. It's also attract a lot of energy around you. In fact, if we simplify things, I know some of you are already aware of how to do this in tiny details, but most of us is not comfortable working in this area. That's why we worry. Maybe I can get wrong with what's really how to do this. If we do it in a much simpler way, like just CO2, you know, the biggest part there is the acceptance of the person who will receive this, the agreement to open up himself to have this energy, welcome it. Then the rest will just happen accordingly. I do this, and every person who needed help, you know, the technology is just it's not really, you can really go directly to teach the person even you don't have the gas, but it's not easy for some to accept. So you make use of these things, make use, present them the liquid plasma, the CO2 gas, liquid plasma, for them to visualize that this is energy. So they have now the visualization that your body can take from energy from this automatically. It knows how to process, because by design your body knows already what it needs. Then when that person have the same concept, it will follow through right away. When that person have hesitation, no matter what you apply, it doesn't work. It will not work. So it is important that the person will understand and welcome this method of using energy. Anyway, it's not intrusive. It's not forced. It should be done willingly that way. It should be welcome. So you have to present it in a manner that is not that will not create fear, doubt, and uncertainty to the person. It should be done that way.
Cláudio, faz só essa última parte aqui que eu tava fora, aí eu volto. Pode ser?
Entendi. Então, ele falou, eu perguntei para ele que tipo de água, GANs, né, que ele usaria. Ele falou CO2 mesmo, que é o mais comum e teria mais a parte do oxigênio. E ele falou assim, e não importa se você dá para a pessoa isso e ela não está aceitando melhorar. Então, isso é o mais importante, a pessoa tem que estar aceitando o processo de cura, de melhora, e dando essa água de CO2, a pessoa iria melhorar muito mais rápido. Esse seria o resumo que ele falou. A pessoa tem que ter aceitação. Okay,
we are doing this in a friendly manner that the person become comfortable, you know, in a friendly manner that we talk in a friendly way. So people will become comfortable also accepting the technology. So we simplify it in a way that it's not difficult to implement. And that's the key to start doing this. That's the key, because if you will implement this the way Dr. C, you do this and that, you will a lot of distraction. Now people will focus on the instruction and no longer on the final objective of accelerated healing. And it happened a lot of times, and people will have doubt in every step. So you only need a single doubt and it will not work, because it's just like shielding of the body is implemented to protect the body. It's a mechanism of the body. When you say no, or maybe this have some side effects, when that thinking comes to mind, it's done. It cannot, you are not helping anymore. So we have to avoid this condition where the person go in the direction having doubt. That should be avoided. Instead, we have to use this technology as like meeting a new friend, something like that. That condition, that there is acceptance, there is agreement, no issues of causing harm, because it's a common thing for one who is new to this to think the usual way of this has side effects, have bad effects, or overdose. Those are the detrimental factors to this technology. But if you clear first everything, you clear it first. The first time I went to a hospital, like, because it was an emergency, I only bring water, drinking water. You see, this is a result of our research and this and that. You see, I can drink this, it's safe. By just doing that gesture, it's done. Then they drink also from the same water. It's done. The next day, all of them out of the hospital. It happened that way. There has to be confidence. There has to be clear. There has to be equality.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way of doing it.
Uhum. Ele está dizendo, pessoal, que quando você se aproxima de uma pessoa de maneira amigável, de maneira simples, de maneira que você não gere desconfiança, porque uma vez que a pessoa gera desconfiança, pensa que isso vai dar efeitos colaterais, isso vai causar mal para ela, ela cria uma barreira, um bloqueio, e ela para de receber benefício disso. Então você tem que chegar de maneira amigável, sem termos muito técnicos, sem assustar a pessoa, e mostrar o resultado, e a pessoa vai se abrir para isso, entendeu? Porque se caso contrário, se ela não confiar, ela vai bloquear todo o processo. Ok.
The more work here actually is on bringing the condition that the individual becomes comfortable, becomes at ease. That's the biggest part of work there. The rest is easy. So when you can bring a person to that level, that at ease level, the rest is meaning you have the trust and the welcome to you describe this as energy. So your body will simply absorb. So that's easy. No need to inject or something. Yeah, no need. Because people are defensive at the time. They already have the condition. They already have the uncomfortable situation. They already have the complication. A lot of to think. So you make the application of this technology a lot simpler for them to take. That you are not adding more complexity to their conditions. Make it simple. Make it easy. That they become at ease, and that's it. That's the way to do it.
Uhum.
You can never fail by doing that.
Uhum. Ele disse que a gente tem que tornar tudo mais simples, simplificar para as pessoas poderem conhecer e entender e acreditar e trazer de uma maneira mais amigável, sem muita complexidade, para você ganhar a confiança da pessoa e, por exemplo, você chega e fala, isso aqui você não tem que injetar nada, você não vai te agredir seu corpo, é apenas, vai absorver os campos. Então é simples assim, não tem agulha, não tem nada, entendeu? E aí você ganha a confiança da pessoa. É como apresentar um amigo para ela, entendeu?
I would like to jump 1 second here, please.
Yeah.
It's for me now. It's time end, and if Bernie like, you can continue.
Uhum.
What do you think, Bernie?
Yeah, I can continue.
Okay, thank you very much. But don't speak bad of me, huh?
No problem.
Okay.
It's early, Jalal. It's too early. Come on, Jalal.
Yeah, it's early for you, my dear.
For us now, you don't need to sleep,
Yeah, you remember one time we brought Mr. Keshe here, and I left at him.
Yeah, I remember. It's the same today.
Same thing.
And he complained about this.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, and really, Bernie, I appreciate your presence, and always you will be thanked. So don't let him, guys, ask a lot of questions.
We're just starting, Jalal. We're just starting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jalal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jalal.
Thank you, Jalal. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jalal.
Pessoal, só para esclarecer, não vai acabar, tá? O Jalal só vai porque é tarde, o Verne vai continuar porque é cedo para ele lá.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, could I ask a question, please?
Yes, please. But I think we have a hand up here before you. If you can go next.
No problem.
Eu acho que tem uma mão do Alexandre. Você quer perguntar, Alexandre?
Sim, quero sim.
Por favor.
Verne, a minha pergunta é, recentemente eu tive, acredito, né, que eu não fiz teste, o Covid. E eu já tive
escuta,
problema.
pera, Alexandre. Só vamos ter cuidado com as
perdão.
YouTube,
Ok,
tá?
desculpe.
Mas usa o código.
Corrige.
Tive o bichinho da goiaba. Pronto. Vai lá.
Sim.
E aí?
O que aconteceu? Tempos atrás, eu já tive problema de trombose, tá? E na minha perna, hoje, tem um tipo de um coágulo, aumentou muito, ficou até escuro, E o Keshe falou que tinha a solução de como dissolver até esses coágulos, mas tinha que ter todo um cuidado, porque esses coágulos dissolvendo poderia ir para o pulmão, para o coração. E eu gostaria de saber se eu consigo ter informações, de repente, particulares, alguma coisa assim, de como proceder, uma vez que eu estou também tomando um medicamento para afinar o sangue, né, para não evitar esse tipo de coisa. Só que a dia vem passando e está agravando. Inclusive, ficou até escuro na minha perna esquerda, perto da canela, do lado direito. Direito não, esquerdo, perdão.
Ok. So, você só fechar seu som aqui por causa do barulho. Certo. So, Bernie, we have a question. I just will say that we need to take care with some words because of the YouTube policy, okay? So, he's sharing that he had this C stuff problem, which I cannot talk because of YouTube, okay? You understand? Hello?
I'm sorry, it was muted. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I'm just saying that we need to take care with some words on YouTube because of the policy, okay?
Okay,
And
no problem.
he had a problem with the C stuff, which I cannot talk openly, okay?
Okay,
I think you understand. And okay, you got it? Okay.
just continue.
Yeah, so he had problems with thrombosis and he has a clot. And Mr. Keshe said that he can deal with it, but need to take care to don't go to the heart or the lungs. And como que é a sua pergunta? É como lidar com esse coágulo, é isso?
Na realidade, eu quero, inclusive, desfazê-lo. O problema todo é que tem que ter um cuidado especial de todo o procedimento, né? Porque o Keshe tem tecnologia, mas se você fizer errado, você pode até morrer por causa do movimento desse coágulo. E eu estou tomando um medicamento para evitar esses coágulos já há alguns anos, e eu não vejo a hora de parar, porque somente esse medicamento que eu estou tomando, porque já faz 40 anos que eu não tomava mais nenhum tipo de medicamento, e tive que tomar esse. Não vejo a hora de parar, Danilo.
Okay, so he's taking a medicine because of this clot for several years, and he's trying to solve this problem. But as he knows, he needs to take care because the clot can go to the heart and stuff like this, and he can even die if he don't deal with it on a correct way with the plasma technology. So, in other words, not very simple. You can deal with it using the plasma gas technology, but you need to know what you are doing to don't make things worse, you know?
No problem, no problem.
And I should just say for our audience that this is not a medical teaching. We are just learning how to process the diseases, and we are not medical doctors. We are just learning and trying to help ourselves, you know?
Actually, I can deal with this situation similar to my explanation earlier. It's really similar. The solution here is more on the person himself to welcome an energy source where the body can automatically make use of it and do its work efficiently, because it can tap to this energy. You're not inducing something, you're not forcing something on the body, but it's the body who will take care of what to take with the presence of that energy, and that's it. That's how simple it is.
Ele tá dizendo que vai te responder como ele respondeu antes. Você não vai forçar nada para o seu corpo, você não vai fazer nada demais, você vai permitir com que o seu corpo acesse as energias mais elevadas e você pode lidar com isso sem problema nenhum.
One have to be clear in thoughts, and that just like you have you're hungry, so you know you need to eat, and you choose the food that you eat because you are already aware that if I eat like fruits, these vegetables or what, you feel good. You feel good. It's given. We experience that. Feel good. Your body also knows how to process this food that you eat, that your body can absorb the energy from it. It knows. You did not think how your body will disintegrate this. You did not think of that consciously. Your body already knows. Now you present.
Ok. I need 1 second. Ele está dizendo o seguinte, pessoal, que quando você come alguma coisa, você não fica preocupado como seu corpo vai dissolver isso, como você vai absorver isso. Seu corpo já sabe como fazer isso. Então, você está com fome, você vai lá e come algo que você quer. Okay, Bernie, I hear a little bit of noise. Maybe your microphone is scratching on your shirt or something like this.
Let me.
But you
maybe.
Yeah.
It's gone now. I think it's the fan. It's okay now.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we have to. Yes, we are cautious. Yes, we are careful. Yes, you see, we have to set the condition within ourselves. Of course, we are eager to find a solution. We want to balance ourselves, but we have confusion. We have lack of understanding. So let's simplify things that we become comfortable with this technology that we are in right now. At the same time, we're not doing any harm to anyone. Even the person who will receive the energy becomes comfortable that it's okay, no problem. It's just like food that we take from the plate that we usually eat, something like that. But this time you don't have to eat it. It's just that there you can wash your hands with the water. That's it. You can mix it with the water you used to taking a bath. That's how easy it is to implement. And it will help the body. It will help whatever processes inside the body. It's not for us to think the details of how the body do it. It's already there. The body knows how to take care of the individual cells. No, the process, the instruction, everything. It's part of our design. So it's not really a problem. We don't need to complicate things by overthinking.
Então, o que ele está dizendo é que nosso corpo já programado para fazer todas essas coisas automaticamente. É como a comida que a gente come, a gente não fica preocupado como a gente vai digerir ou dissolver ela. O plasma é a mesma coisa. Você vai absorver o que você precisa e você tem que simplesmente tornar as coisas mais simples para você criar confiança em você mesmo, aumentar o seu conhecimento e preparar tudo dentro de você mesmo para você poder acessar a energia do universo e se reequilibrar.
The reason why things doesn't work sometimes according to what we want, because we added a lot of hindrances in a form of overthinking, or we think a lot, maybe this will not work, or maybe this will interfere with my medication, or maybe I'm not sure, I have to be careful. We worry too much. The good thing with this technology is it doesn't work that way, that similar to taking a medicine that we are not sure what it can do to our body. We're not taking anything. The body only tap this energy field through the water we use it, we take a bath, something like that. It knows. You don't have to worry of the process. So just be comfortable using it. The water, let's see, you have a pail of water, you put a tiny drop of liquid plasma of CO2, and that's it. Use that water for washing clothes, for taking a bath, and maybe for some drinking. Just like you water your plant, you put this water, you water plant, and the plant responded in growing vigorously. Similar to that. So it's easy. It's easy. No.
O que ele está dizendo é que a gente complica demais ao ficar pensando muito, ao ficar desconfiando, pensando em efeitos colaterais e falta de confiança, que na verdade é tudo muito simples. O seu corpo vai absorver o que ele precisa. não tem efeitos colaterais, não tem nada que vai te gerar de coisa negativa. Então, é algo muito simples, é algo intuitivo, algo que simplesmente a gente que complica, a gente tem que tornar tudo mais simples.
Okay, now when we come to that point that we become, we agree with, we become comfortable, now here comes an explanation where we can be more comfortable. In the early teachings, Mr. Keshe focused on the emotion, and he said that 96% or more of the conditions that we have in our body is due to the emotion we are holding. If we keep on worrying, we manifest this some conditions of the body because we worry too much. We are stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the emotions contribute a lot in with respect to health. Okay, and we also know that CO2.
Let me translate. I will forget.
Okay,
Ele está dizendo que, como o Keshe disse, 60% ou mais das doenças são emocionais. A gente está sempre muito preocupado, muito estressado. Tudo isso tem a ver com a nossa saúde. Ok.
And we also know that CO2 can provide energy to the emotion that it can balance it, meaning we can be more relaxed. We can, instead of we can easily get angry, we can now think, oh, wait. So you become more balanced, meaning it's not easy to get angry anymore, or you become more relaxed. The idea is, the usual result is you become more relaxed, and healing process can take place in an accelerated manner when we are at that state.
Bom, a ideia é usar o CO2 para a gente ficar mais calmo, mais equilibrado, não se irritar mais tão facilmente, e esse processo em si já vai permitir com que o seu corpo desestresse, saia dessas emoções negativas e possa se reequilibrar.
It is the state of staying in being worried most of the time because of the said condition that also not helping or only hindering the whole process of making use of this energy to help us. So let's do it correctly, by thinking correctly, by accepting it willingly as no worries, just don't worry, it's okay. Everything will be okay. And that's it.
O que ele está dizendo é que quando a gente fica preocupado, a gente usa essa energia, consome essa energia, em vez de ajudar nosso corpo a se recuperar, a gente gasta energia com a preocupação. Então a gente tem que aceitar as coisas, entender que está tudo bem, não ficar preocupado, relaxar, e o nosso corpo se regenera automaticamente.
I think that's it. That's how we should do.
Eu acho que é assim que deveríamos proceder. Okay, we have a next question from Kay. Okay, Kay, feel free to open your mic.
No, leave it. Hello.
Alexandre, quer continuar a sua pergunta?
Sim. O Danilo, se possível, eu concordo em 100% no que ele falou, mas num estado mais crônico de imediato, se tem como fazer alguma coisa, porque essa é uma situação assim que é bastante agravante. A toda a região onde está esse problema está da trombose que teve, está uma região bastante dura, parece uma rígida, né? Dá para ver que há uma dificuldade até da circulação ali. Se de repente, independente de tudo que ele falou, que eu concordo em 100%, se é preciso fazer alguma coisa com os GANs, de repente usar a caneta, usar... O que seria recomendado assim numa situação mais agravante? Até porque a indicação que eu tenho, apesar de não acreditar nessa situação, minha avó teve isso, a minha mãe, inclusive, teve que até amputar a perna. Meu irmão também teve problemas sobre esse tipo de coisa. Eu tive um primo também, né, que vem acompanhando aí as gerações. É isso.
Okay. He's saying that his problem comes with the family. A lot of relatives have these problems, Ok, deixa eu fechar seu som, Alexandre. And he thinks his situation is not so easy. It's a little complicated because the area of the problem is very rigid, and maybe there's a problem with the blood circulation. And he's asking if there is any equipment or paint pen or what can he make on the area to try to help, because it's a little bit complicated situation. This is his question.
The same approach to such a situation. But first, one have to, of course, using CO2 can put you at ease, meaning, but you have to also to do the work of putting yourself to at ease by thinking a more at ease condition. Then applying the technology, it's a hand-in-hand helping process actually. It's not that you just take this or you just use this and you forget about it. No, it's not. You have to also to focus on you have to think yourself, you have to you have to visualize yourself that you're well. You focus on yourself, the version of yourself that you're already well. And should not cling always on the same condition that you do not like, because if we could because you have this problem, because it's just like you're just going in circles. You have to get out of there. If it no longer serves you, you have to get out. Just a simple resetting of how you keep on thinking daily. Do something else that put you in a different mood. Then while applying, let's say, CO2 water for washing or something like that, or for drinking, it's you have to redirect to stay away from the usual routine that puts you in a situation that you always like that.
Ok. Ele está dizendo. Ok. Ele está dizendo, Alexandre, que você tem que mudar a sua rotina, sua forma de pensar, se conectar com a parte de você que está saudável, com a versão sua que é saudável, para você poder gerar essa condição no seu corpo. Então, você tem que mudar o seu padrão de pensamento, sair desse ciclo de eu estou passando por isso porque meu pai passou, minha mãe passou, fulano passou, eu tenho que passar. Esse tipo de pensamento não vai te ajudar. E uma coisa não exclui a outra. É um processo coletivo de você lavar com CO2, beber o CO2, tentar fugir desse padrão de pensamento para você tentar trazer a saúde para você através de mudar a sua forma como você pensa e como você está preso nesse looping emocional, entendeu, Alexandre?
Thank you,
one have to put himself in a situation like he become excited again. So do something else that put you in a situation that just like before when you were excited, you are like this, you're healthy and that. You have to do that again. At some point in life, we experience such a situation. Then we have to do the same. Though we are in a bad shape right now, that doesn't mean we will always stay. And the fact that you recognize that you're in that shape, meaning you're done already. It's just that you're tired, that you're in, and you do not know what to do because of the situation. But then, for sure, once in your life, at least once in your life, you have this excitement. You have to go back to that state, and the rest will simply follow. And just by adding this technology as an energy source for your body, like I said, put it as part of your water to wash or to take a bath, to just like that, as easy as that. Then you it's up, and it will help. It will help for sure. It will help because it helps me. It helps a lot of people doing that way.
Alexandre, ele falou assim: você tem que voltar a ser empolgado de novo, feliz, alegre, se conectar com as coisas que te faziam feliz, que te deixavam excitados, empolgado, e mudar sua rotina, porque um dia você já foi assim. você pode se conectar com isso de novo. E é essa emoção que vai trazer a mudança da sua situação atual. Entendeu? Só que isso é junto com o lavar, com o CO2, beber o CO2, tudo é um processo físico e emocional.
Ok, obrigado, Danilo. Obrigado, Vernon.
Obrigado.
Thank you, Vernon.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go to Kay.
Thank you, Danielo. Good evening. Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Vernon. Sorry, I'm asking a question back to what you were doing before. There was no opportunity for me to ask a question. Thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge tonight. God bless you. God bless
You're welcome.
all of you that are all present in here. The question goes back to the fuel saving maggraph, or well, just the nano-coated wire. You know, the CH3, could one just put a small amount of CH3 into a petrol tank? Let's just say 10 milliliter, like 1 tablespoon of CH3 inside the petrol tank directly onto the fuel. That's one. And if you could, would it be better if you were to have, say, 1 or 2 milliliter of the GANs with the plasma water, say 10 milliliter of plasma water with 1 or 2 milliliter of GANs as well, of CH3, one. The second thing concerning the same scenario, could you remember where you said you've got a nano-coated coil inside the water, you've got CH3, and then you get a wire connected to the body of the engine. Could you do the same? And if you could put it inside the tank, the petrol tank, so you feed the energy into the fuel, into the petrol tank itself. Could you please elaborate if you have any input into these two little questions? Sorry.
Yeah, I also think.
Okay, I need to translate. Sorry. So, okay, your question is if we can put CH3 into the fuel tank, or maybe a nano-coated on fire copper. Is it?
Remember the scenario Vernie explained, that you can get CH3 into a bottle and put a nano-coated coil in there and get a normal wire, copper wire, connected to the body, the block of the engine. So that way you give energy directly, hydrogen directly goes into the fuels or into the air system of the engine, so you get better efficiency and better fuel and better run or mileage on the fuel. So I'm just saying, could we use the same bottle setup rather than putting it inside the engine or by the engine inside the boot, inside the bonnet? Could we use that, hang it inside or just on the edge of the petrol tank where the fuel goes in there?
Okay.
Connect that wire onto the metal part of the opening of the fuel tank.
Okay, so it's not drop the CH3 with the fuel. It's put the wire, the same scenario, but inside the fuel tank.
Yeah, that's the two. Yeah, there is two questions. One of them, if you were to put just the plasma with a bit of a plasma water with a bit of a plasma of CH3 directly onto the fuel inside, that's 10, 15 milliliter maximum. And the second one was the bottle setup.
Ok. Então a pergunta do Kay é o seguinte, pessoal. No mesmo cenário que ele estava dizendo de pegar um vidrinho de perfume, colocar o CH3, o fio não revestido, em formato de bobina, revestido do fogo, conectar no fio normal e ligar lá no coletor de ar. Será que pode fazer isso e colocar dentro, ligar esse fio, em vez de ser no coletor do ar, ligar esse fio dentro do tanque de combustível? E a outra pergunta é, será que eu posso pôr alguns ml de CH3, de água plasmada com um pouquinho de CH3 direto no tanque de combustível? Essa é a pergunta do Kay. Okay.
I also think the same during those times, but it's more challenging doing that than doing what I suggested. You know what? Because of the gasoline. It's not easy to find material that is compatible with gasoline where you can put this liquid plasma of CH3. Yes, you may find a body of a container that is compatible, maybe glass, But how about the cover? It should be made of plastic. So what kind of plastic? You put, say, it's DPE. But how long can this DPE stand to the fumes of this? Yes, it is gasoline grade, but over time it will get affected also. But you see, most plastic bottle caps are not HDPE. It's really not easy to find. Then the attachment from, you see, there are a lot of hurdles doing this. I've seen this because I've been through this. Then if you put liquid or the powder in mixed with the gasoline, yes, it can help, but it will go to the filter, or some will pass through the filter, then will go to the injector or the carburetor. Then when it reaches the combustion engine, it will be subjected to fire. It becomes matter. So you are, it will be shortened. The time you influence energy to the system will become shortened than without consuming this energy physically. Just the fields of it transform the energy from the fields of the liquid plasma and the GANs to the nano, to the matter state, then to the engine. And the vacuum is in the engine and not in the tank. So it helps a lot where you put this near the engine. From our testing, the closer we put near where the vacuum is, the better the performance. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much. Please let Daniel just to translate it. I've got just one more question about this fuel saving scenario. Thank you.
Bom, pelo que eu entendi, pessoal, eu não consegui entender muito, mas pelo que eu entendi, quanto mais próximo do vácuo se coloca aquele equipamento lá, a garrafinha, é melhor. Então, eu não entendi muito bem, mas parece que não foi uma boa ideia, não é uma boa ideia. A melhor ideia é essa que ele passou, que ele tinha passado antes. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much for allowing me to ask a further question. Going back to the same scenario, so just two little things. One, the wire that you mentioned, gauge 24, which needs to be nano-coated, just say half an inch or 1-2 centimeter long, gets screwed or attached to the terminal, negative terminal of the battery. If you were to do it as a coil, would that be more effective, or would that actually have negative impact? That's one. Two, the method that you've just talked about, having this thin wire attached, as well as putting it into the spark plugs, would this be more efficient than the car maggrav? You know, the one with the coil and then CO2 in there and CH3 in there. You know, like the energy maggrav that we have, but this is for a car maggrav. Which one of these two are more efficient in terms of fuel saving? The reason I'm asking, I was never looking into it before. Obviously, I always wanted to learn this, which I've looked into it. But nowadays, I live in London, the petrol is almost £2 a litre, which is absolutely unheard of. So fuel consumption is becoming extremely expensive. Apart from gas and electricity, which is shot up 3 times, 4 times as much, fuel is almost gone up by 60-70%. So I may implement all these this particular knowledge about fuel saving. I knew about it for a long time, but I've never done anything about it because it didn't really bother me as such, because the fuel was just affordable. Now the fuel is really shot up, like sky high. So which one of these two is more efficient, to your opinion? The one which you just described with the thin wire, or the one which is the maggrav, car maggrav? Sorry, thank you very much. I'd like to hear your input.
Can you remember me your first question? I just forgot.
Yes, the first question is the thin wire that Vernie was kindly to tell us to nano-coat it, far nano-coat it, which is roughly 2 centimeters, and you attach it to the negative terminal. Would it be more efficient?
Wire. Yeah.
If you were to make it into a coil of, say, 2-3 centimeters, the same wire.
Ok, thank you. Bom, a pergunta número 1 do Kay é aquele esquema de prender o fiozinho nano revestido no polo negativo da bateria, se for em formato de bobina, se vai ser mais eficiente, ou qual seria o impacto? E a pergunta número 2 é, esse esquema aí de pôr o fiozinho bem fininho na vela é mais eficiente que uma grave car? Ok, Vernie.
If there are differences, very tiny, maggrav can provide more, but you need to position it also in a much better position inside the car. So it is big, it is cumbersome to position, and for general use, very tiny difference between that. That's why I said earlier, try, if you can hold that, you put it there, as long as you can hold it, because it works in a similar manner. The idea is it works in a similar manner. It is for why I encourage people to use the tiny one, for them to encourage the technology that works. Once we touch the nano, the atom, the energy from the atom, we go directly to that. You only need a single atom. If you can hold that, then that provides energy. But we need more. We like using big. It's normal for us, because in the matter state, the bigger the better. But when you go in the plasma where we're using nanomaterials, it doesn't matter anymore the physical size, because energy we're tapping is no longer in a form of mass. In the matter state, we use mass to get more. Meaning the more we coil the copper, the bigger the energy. The thicker the copper, the bigger the energy. That's using mass. With the plasma technology, using nanomaterials, nano-coated copper, liquid, all you need is a tiny amount that you can handle comfortably, that to implement it in a place that it cannot get lost easily. That's all you need. And positioning and what type of guns, for example, we use, where we coat to the copper or simply the nano only. So these things are one that matters when working in the plasma technology. No longer the mass size, no longer. So we will now deal with positioning, where and where should it be placed. We have to deal with polarity, spin of energy, like that. These are the important things. Now, more important things now. Before, it was mass. Yes, we still deal with polarity, but it's more on mass that gives us more energy. The more energy. This time, that's why I am encouraging everyone, test the tiniest you can possible handle and observe. The correct positioning, or where you put it, is the key to experience that huge impact in performance. You can save, because you have to back out your foot, because it performs much better now than before. Meaning, if you continue using the same push, you consume the same fuel, but you can get earlier, or you will be forced to back out your foot because you will hit the front car in front of you, because it will accelerate much faster, much quicker. So you have to adjust. That's where the saving comes in, because you have no choice but to back out because of the new performance.
Bom, o que ele disse é que na ciência do plasma é o contrário do que na matéria. Quanto menor, melhor. Então, assim que você consegue acessar a energia do plasma, a energia... como que ele falou da energia da célula? Da célula não, do átomo. Então, não faz diferença entre... Ou faz uma diferença muito pouca entre o fio estar comprido ou estar enrolado. E ele fala para fazer assim porque é mais fácil e a diferença vai ser pouca, é só para a gente testar e ver o resultado. E que, às vezes, você vai ter uma resposta mais rápida do acelerador, então você vai ter que pisar menos nele e, consequentemente, ou vai chegar mais cedo, ou então você vai bater no carro da frente, porque... Então, no final das contas, você vai economizar, porque vai estar mais eficiente, entendeu? Ok?
Thank you very much, Bernie.
The second question?
I think he has answered both of them at one go. So it is almost the same, the little wire and the car maggraph, more or less the same efficiency, more or less the same performance. The car maggraph just maybe a little bit more efficient, but it is cumbersome and troublesome to place it on. Bernie, just before I go, I want to throw one more question at you, a very little one. God bless you. So if that little wire that we've nano-coated, if you were to put CO2 GANs, not plasma water, but a little bit, mix it with a bit of a plasma water, with a bit of a GANs, and dry it onto that little wire, would that be more efficient or makes any difference or no difference at all? And that was my last question. Thank you very much.
You use copper oxide and CH3, not CO2. Because you put this on the negative, it should be CH3 on the negative And for the copper, if you want to take advantage of the energy of the copper, pair it with copper oxide. So CH3 alone will do. It's okay. If you want to make use to communicate with the copper, it's how do you call this? Copper oxide also. CO2,
Okay.
no, it's more gravitational. It should be on the other side, on the positive.
I see. So you recommend
But
put
where
CH3 and CO2 onto that little wire where you attach it to the
CuO and CH3.
copper oxide.
yeah, copper oxide. My apology. Copper oxide, copper and CH3, it should be laced onto that little wire and then attached to the negative terminal of the battery.
Correct.
God bless you. Thank you ever so
Correct.
much. And thanks for your sharing.
Correct.
So I
It should be
assume
done that way. The simplest is using only the nano, but if you go to the next level where it has access to energy fields from the GANs, then this is it.
ok.
This is how you should do it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ele falou que o próximo, o que ele perguntou se colocasse GANs de CO2 iria ajudar no fiozinho lá na bateria, na parte negativa da bateria. O Verne falou que não, porque o CO2 é mais gravitacional, então ele seria bom no polo positivo. No polo negativo seria o ideal colocar CH3 e CuO. Ok, I think we have another question. Acho que alguém queria perguntar aí, eu vi o microfone aberto. Acho que o Marco Capato, é isso, Marco?
Ô, Danilo, boa noite.
Boa noite.
Eu tenho uma pergunta, eu queria que você fosse traduzindo. Nós temos um amigo, ele está doente. Vai traduzindo.
Okay, so we have a friend and he is ill.
Está doente. E nós oferecemos a água do copo da vida para ajudar.
And we offer the cup of life water to help.
Como ele está receptivo à cura e acredita na cura,
and as he is open to the cure and he believes on the cure,
ele vai tomar a água e vai se curar.
He will take the water and he will get better.
Passado algum tempo,
pode falar.
Passado algum tempo, nós nos encontramos e ele falou assim: nossa, que água boa, o copo da vida é muito bom. Como que foi aquilo?
After a while, I met him again, and he told me, "Oh, this cup of life is amazing. How did you do that?"
Aí eu falo para ele: você tomou o copo da vida, só que quem curou foi um start de você mesmo se curou. O copo da vida simplesmente ajudou a você se curar.
So I said to him that you took the water, but you healed yourself. The cup of life just helped you to heal yourself.
Por essa pessoa ser incrédula, não acreditar nas coisas, ela pode voltar no estado da mesma doença?
So if this person don't believe in all of this, can this person come back to the same state as before, as an ill state?
No, if he passes that state, it won't come back unless he will do the same process that he will put himself into that condition.
Ele falou que ele passou por esse processo e ele se curou. Ele só vai voltar para esse processo se ele passar pela mesma condição que ele estava passando, que fez com que ele ficasse com aqueles problemas, entendeu?
Entendi. Só isso, obrigado.
Eu acho que ele vai continuar. Ok, you want to continue, Vern?
I think the right term there to use is he already make use of it, he already benefited from it, then later decide not to use it instead of not believing it, because not believing it should happen in the first place. not after, because you already witnessed it. Why would you? There's no logic. It's not normal to do that, right? So that maybe the possible thing to happen is after that he stopped using it simply because he just stopped. We do not know for what reason, but he simply stopped. But the fact that he's already experienced some improvement, he have access to this again. Maybe when he feel he needed to have this again.
Bom, ele disse assim, o Verne disse que, bom, talvez a palavra não seria que ele não acredita, mas que ele decidiu não tomar mais porque ele já se curou do que ele precisava. Porque não faz sentido. Se ele se curou, ele teria que acreditar. Talvez ele só parou porque ele não precisa mais, mas quem sabe no futuro, se ele tiver um outro problema, ele possa vir a usar de novo, entendeu? Ok, we have a next hand here. Paulo, quer fazer a pergunta? Fica à vontade. Pode abrir seu microfone, Paulo.
Ok. Hello.
Tudo bom? Pode falar, Paulo.
Good evening, Verne. Please, Mr. Keshe said that if you should avoid the inner nanocode spiral not touch the outer part, what is the suggestion to avoid this contact? Could I wrap a hook line around the one of them? Is this can help?
Okay, maybe I can read again. Mr. Keshe said that you should avoid the inner nano-coated spiral. Ok, Paulo, deixa eu fechar seu microfone que tá dando um pouco de eco, só um pouquinho. Okay, let's do again. Mr. Keshe said that you should avoid the inner nano-coated spiral, not touching the outer part. What is the suggestion to avoid this contact? Could I wrap a hook line around one of them?
I have to ask, what design is he talking about with this spiral? Because every design have different purpose.
Você está
referring to what?
Está se referindo ao quê, Paulo? Qual dispositivo? Qual projeto?
Magrive car, house, Magrive house, reactor.
Okay. When you insert the inner coil, the inner spiral, it has to have some clearance that it can still move inside in the middle. Because when you nano-coat this together, the inner and the outer, because you already form the whole set of coils, then you nano-coat them. If it is too tight, the reason for have that clearance is to allow the buildup of nano in between. No problem if nano are touching by each other, but the idea is you still have that clearance there where there is this field interaction among them. It doesn't matter if they are touching physically, but you have this clearance, because in reality they are touching because they are held by gravity also, that one will touch the top or the bottom of the inner coil. But during the process of making the nano coating and the insertion of this coil, you have to have this clearance for the coil to move, then allow that space for build up of nano materials, and then it can position itself. A small gap will do, millimeter gap will do, as long as there is this where fields can interact with each other. I believe this is what he meant, because it was also me who suggested to him that for this to work.
Bom, espero que você tenha entendido, Paulo, porque eu já estou muito cansado e já não estou entendendo mais nada, velho. Muita palavra.
Difícil traduzir.
Pois é, depois a gente pode rever. Okay, I think we are about to finish. I'm really tired.
Okay, no problem.
And
I think we can do this next time. I can attend again next time.
Yes, would be very nice. We are here every week.
Maybe another set of topics. Then I'll just get in and or if there are unfinished questions, then or maybe new questions will come out. Then we will deal with it. So we can do this again.
Ok. Então, pessoal, eu acho que por hoje já deu. Estou muito cansado já. Já não estou mais conseguindo me concentrar. O Verne falou que pode voltar a semana que vem para a gente conversar mais. Falei para ele. Foi um prazer imenso tê-lo aqui. Então é isso, pessoal. Acho que por hoje é isso. Eu agradeço a todos aí por terem comparecido. So, thank you very much, Verne, for...
You're welcome.
Obrigado, Verne.
Yeah.
We would like to see you again.
Yes, of course.
Obrigado, Danilo.
I'm really happy to see this number of individuals attending. I've been attending recently the private classes and only similar people attending and only a few, and having this large group is really nice to see every time.
Yeah. Thank you, Verne.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, let's finish. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Verne. We can meet next week again. Valeu, pessoal. Obrigado a todos.
Thank you, Verne. Obrigado.
Valeu.
Obrigada, Danilo.
Valeu, pessoal. Bye, bye. Tchau, pessoal. Obrigado. Meu Deus. Até a próxima.
Obrigado.
Aviso: o material informativo e educativo aqui contido destina-se a promover a compreensão geral e o diálogo do processamento de GANs. Tais informações não se destinam a servir como substituto para o treinamento clínico, experiência ou julgamento de um profissional de saúde. Para pacientes e indivíduos, tais informações não devem ser um substituto para recomendação profissional médica, terapêutica ou de saúde ou de conselhos médicos. Para questões ou assuntos de interesse médico, incluindo decisões sobre medicamentos e outros tratamentos, os leitores, visitantes e ouvintes devem sempre consultar seu médico ou, em casos graves, buscar assistência imediata do pessoal de emergência. Informações sobre prescrição médica, procedimentos e uso de dispositivos médicos devem ser realizados somente por pessoal médico devidamente treinado e certificado. Especificamente, nos isentamos de prestar quaisquer garantias, expressas ou implícitas, incluindo garantias implícitas de comercialização ou adequação a uma finalidade específica. Tais informações são fornecidas como estão e acredita-se que sejam precisas no momento de sua publicação, mas cabe aos telespectadores avaliarem a precisão de qualquer informação encontrada nesta apresentação. Cada caso apresentado é de sua própria experiência, aplicado por eles mesmos e se aplica somente ao seu caso. Toda pessoa com problemas de saúde deve procurar recomendação médica profissional e consultar seu curso de tratamento com um médico. Os processos de equilíbrio do plasma aqui descritos são um processo natural que auxilia o corpo, mas não substitui o conselho médico ou as terapias a que já se está sujeito.